Good evening everybody. Welcome to my Sunday night stream. I hope everybody has had a lovely week gold making so far, and I hope you had a lovely weekend and enjoyed lots of things. Good evening Dado, straight in there. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good week of gold making. We had a very good reset day last Wednesday with Samadan and his enchanting. The next day, though, Thursday, was a lot less, so it kind of evened itself out. So that was pretty good. I haven't checked the mail today at all, so we've still got stuff to do there. Oh, actually, we just had a sale. What was that? What's just come in? Sinister Combatants braces for 5,500. Very nice start. Good evening. Is that Jujuscus or Guguscus? Good evening to you. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. And thank you very much for the follow. And we've also got some Sinister Mittens coming through at 5,000. That's a great start to the evening already. Good evening, Mushy. Hope you're doing well. Got a very nice paste bin. Need to find the source, though. I wonder where you got that from, Dado. So we're currently in Old Dalaran. I was here looking for some bits and pieces during the week, and I haven't quite moved out of here yet. Let's just move this down a little bit, and then we should be able to get everything sorted. Let's just adjust that. There we go. Alright, let's have a look. Mailbox wise, we need to have a look. I guess we ought to really go to the other. Dalaran's quite nice and quiet, Old Dalaran, so we might as well make use of this. Wow, look at that, Danny. 13 months. That's gone very quickly, hasn't it indeed? Good evening to you. I hope you've done very well. Thank you very much for 13 months. That's amazing. Thank you ever so much. Also spotted Mushy there doesn't have the emotes here, so we can sort that out as well in a moment. Let's just give you lots of bit of everything thrown in. Thank you very much for your continued support. Really do appreciate that. And let me just sort Mushy out. There we go. Get that. Click that. Click that. Complete that. Oh, we've suddenly gone very yellow in Dalaran. That's strange. I wonder what happened there. It's a very strange colour change. There we go. 10 months, Mushy. Although, with your old ID, that was obviously a lot longer you've been around for. There we go. You do miss me streaming on a Friday, do you? I know it's a change of pace, definitely, but it does mean that I have managed to get a lot more rest, which has mean I've been able to do a lot more on the YouTube front. Hopefully, it's been more helpful. Good evening, Gold. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. No problem, Mushy. Can't have you not being able to do your emotes, being as you're my one and only. Oh, I closed the wrong button. Hold on. Let me just open up my chat window again. I need a second one. Where's that gone? I need to click on that, and can I pop that one out? I think I need to click on that, then pop that window out, and then move it up to the corner. There we are. That's better. I need to have like 3 windows open for all my notifications and chat. There we go. Good evening, Bullseye. Hope you're doing well. An hour earlier than normal. I am Dark Queen. What I'm trying to do is I think on a Sunday it'll be better for me if I'm an hour earlier, because that means I can finish an hour earlier and I'm not quite so tired the next day. So it all depends on whether I've got what's going on in the weekend and things. Plus I've also got a holiday coming up soon, so I won't be here for maybe a week or 2. So I'll try and make the most of it and let you know ahead of time as much as possible. Just got the notification. Excellent, Gold. Well, good to have you stopping by. I hope you had a very good week of gold making so far. We're just going through. We haven't checked the mailbox for the weekend yet, so I don't know what Samadan's got on. We did. What did I do? I did a little bit on Friday morning. I did a repost on Saturday. I've been doing. Oh, you can make it till then. Oh, excellent, Darkwing. Good to know. I know everyone in the EU is an hour on ahead as well, so you still didn't get the notification. It's very weird, Twitch, sometimes. I'm not sure what happens with the notifications, really. But let's carry on with... Alright, we've got some expires. We can deal with those. 2,000 gold. So there's a few sales there. We did have a couple of sales just at the start of the stream, so they'll come through in an hour. We'll deal with those in a moment. You saw Twitch on your phone just for the notifications. Oh, right, okay. I do have Twitch on the phone, but I turned off all the notifications for it. Just went online now with 13. Oh, right, okay. It's a little bit behind. Alright, let's do a reload on this, see what else we've got coming in. As we're in Old Dalaran. That's a very old screen, if ever I saw one. Right, let's have a look. More expires, so let's take those out as well. I'll have to post these ones as well. Find the link. Really good new start for you. Let's have a look. Rule-based bin. Where's the TSM? I haven't seen, I can't quite see what it is, but it'd be interesting to have a look at that. Thanks for sharing, Dado. I'll have a look at that one. Probably have a look offline on that one, but thank you for sharing. Right, I've got another 13 seconds on this, so I'll just let that go through. Good evening, Coco Regia, how are you? Hope you're doing well, thanks for stopping by. Sorry, I'm selling, thank you very much for the follow. That's a great name. Wow, here comes the mail. Let's just get rid of those expires. So we have currently 61,000. Let me just get that refreshed so we can have a full 50 on the mailbox. Am I on a high pop? No, I'm on Shadow Song EU, which is pretty much a medium pop, if that. Probably low to medium, if anything. Ah, Darkwing, thank you very much for the bits. Lurking a bit since watching the Nations League final on the meantime. Okay, no worries. I understand there are other events on other than my gold making, but thank you very much nonetheless. Okay, so let's have a look. First page, 50 of 69 in the mail. We have 71,000. So this is since Friday morning. So this is probably worth of 3 days, roughly, worth of UEFA. Ah, okay. That makes more sense. I think even I've heard of that. What have we got here? We have cloaks. A couple of good cloaks there, 6,000. Bountiful Captain's Feast for 9,000. A couple of elemental forces, lots of packs of haste, sold a couple of fiery weapons, they're quite cheap though at 190, and more packs of haste, more quick navigation, versatility, earth and vitality, a couple of those. So a good amount of stuff here. Bear Tartar's done well there, 10, 20 and 20. Another 5 Captain's Feast there, and a Hexweave bag at the bottom. So pretty decent overall, 71,000. I'll wait for this to refresh and then I'll take all those off. And then we'll move on to page 2, which I'm not sure what that's going to be. So 71,000. We'll remember that for the moment. How can I make so much gold with enchanting selling old enchants? On your server they have a 0.01 sell rate and they never sell. It all depends on which ones. Not all of them sell. The old world ones, it depends on your server and how many people are levelling up alternate characters and what kind of enchants they want to put on those. If you follow one of the guides, that gives you a good list of the kind of enchants people buy. Or if you look at my new video that I put out last week on YouTube, let me just put a link to my YouTube channel. My latest video on that is all about the different enchants that I have online. Saverborum, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. You've been missing me in Booty Bay. I know, I was thinking of that the other day. It really was quite a nice area to be in, definitely. Pact of Haste for 1k, you wish they sell for that much on your server. Yeah, it's a strange one. I try and reset the market on the Pacts of Haste and Critical Strike as much as I can, because those are the most frequent sellers. So we've got another 8,900 here. So onto that 71,000 we had earlier. That gives us a nice 80,000 gold. More Deadly Navigation and Spice Snapper in that, so a little bit of food as well. So let's take those. So that's about 3 days worth for Samadan. So that's very nice over the weekend. Am I going to be doing gold making on Classic now that I've conquered the Longboy? I was thinking so, Ploinks. I have got access to the beta, but unfortunately, time-wise, I just haven't had the time to invest properly into Classic. I would love to spend time just leveling up a character on it, and I'd like to see what I could do on a gold making front. So I would certainly give it a go. Seems my life stand the switch of bank capital. Or the less lucky with your new capital. Yes, that is true, isn't it? Because you're so spread out in Azeroth, whereas in Borealis it's very easy just to go and do the scrapping. That's the main reason I'd be there. Who needs a quiet auction house when you have a long neck? Exactly. Good evening, Lizard GM. I hope you're doing well. And Fusterclux, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I feel like gold making Classic is going to be fun. It's certainly going to be a challenge. Basically, you could take 3 zeros off any gold you've got, and it would probably be about the same kind of level, really. It's a horrible town for professions. Yes, I would imagine so. Definitely excited to try out the new economy. It would be interesting. It's going to be very different, and obviously people will be using tried and tested techniques of old, but also it's going to be a very different market. So you never know what kind of disposable income people are going to have, and how is that going to tie in with people who have got money in regular WoW. Obviously you can't transfer between the two, but people will have a different perception over things. Just getting enough gold to do your profession is going to be tough. Yeah, it certainly is. So I'm going to leave, I think I'll leave Samadan here for the moment. I'll do a restock in a moment. Classic spreadsheets, now that will be definitely a thing, won't it? We'll just go through everyone and see if we can just check on their gold for the moment. So we had 80,000 with Samadan. Let's check Jahwakening, see if he's got anything decent at the moment. We need to get rid of his shoulders, actually. Vanilla economy is going to be nothing like it used to be. Everyone keeps forgetting that vanilla won't be the same with 15 years of experience. Exactly, that's how I feel. People will be trying the same things as they got available from memory, but it's going to be different because people will be trying new things and old things. And 0 mail for Jahwakening, sadly, so nothing yet on the sales. Actually, no, we do. We have Elixir of Water Breathing, has sold for 1,200, so we just need to wait for that to come through. Everything else has been relisted, so that's fine. So that's promising. We'll come back to Jahwakening. We'll do that. We'll just go through all the mailboxes first. Profession's thoughts on my first Classics tune. Now, I was originally with Samadan, when he was in Vanilla, he started the game with engineering and enchanting. And that was quite a nice personal profession. But I found that I quickly switched to tailoring, especially when Burning Crusade. By the time Burning Crusade came out, I'd already switched to tailoring. Engineering, the trick with that, let's go to Hearthstone, but actually no, I'll fly back. Is there a flight point nearby? No, I might as well Hearthstone. The problem with enchanting is you have to do all your sales through trade chat, really. So it's not quite as easy. So I would think, yeah, skinning, leatherworking would be a good combo. I would certainly think tailoring might be an option for me. And I might do something gathering wise. I know it's not a popular combination, but herbalism might be quite nice. Engineering needs a lot from the other professions, yeah. Blacksmithing's also would be a good one. There's going to be a lot of rogues around, I reckon. So a lot of leather will be needed. Let's see how we've done for the mail. Oh yes, I did buy some raw B-side for a really good price. So I'm just going to collect up all of those purchases. I should fill my bags up a little bit. Herbalism and enchanting while leveling, and then engineering once the servers progress. Could be a good mix, yeah. Tailor enchanting would be viable in Classic if you do a lot of shuffles. Yes, that could be a nice one. Try and work out what the real shuffles are on that. But definitely, tailoring enchanting is my favourite combination. So we've got 12,000 on Erfen, so that's quite good. So we're up to 92,000 roughly. Drums of Fury doing well, and some Sinister Gear, so we'll take those. That's a good start as well. And then let's We probably need to pop this raw beast hide into the bank, so let's do that now. I was doing some levelling earlier with Erfen, with my son, and Erfen is now level 115, so he's doing really well. Getting him up to 120. I'm not sure whether I need to be 120 for the Notorious gear, so just in case I'm going to level him up to 120. Let's put it all here, so /TSM put raw. There it goes. Let's clear that out, and then we can jump back. Let's stay here for the moment, and then we'll just check on El Morte, see how the transmute market's doing. There's my final character for the moment. You made 200,000 selling fire-resistant blacksmithing gear in vanilla, so you're planning on min-maxing it that time round. Not a bad idea actually, because yeah, the Dark Iron Blacksmith fire resist gear, it's not the first time you've heard it. Yeah, I've heard that mentioned before, and I wonder if people are going to be going full on kind of raid sort of heavy for it to get achievements and things. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting. What have we got? Some expires here, so let's deal with those. Looks like everything's in expire, so sadly nothing sold here out of this lot. Trillion bars were a good price, so I put a few of those on. No luck on the sale of those at this current stage. 7,900 at the moment, so let's have a look what we can put on. It could be. I don't know exactly what the thing is for it. You need to get all the Dark Iron reputation, don't you? Plans drop from Molten Core and Onyxia, so not everyone will be able to make it. Ah, that's true. Have your main be an enchanter because you loved how social that was as a profession in vanilla. Complementing with herb because you'll be rolling rogue and want to be able to farm your own thistle tea mats. Oh, okay. Yeah, tough as nails. Yeah, that does sound difficult. Right, what are we going to do? Let's post this lot on, run a post scan of this. So living steel we do have some of now. Not had any sales of that yet. Potion of luck, primordial rubies, wild jade's a good price there at 575. Just see what we can sell with this lot. It's all kind of random stuff really. Not enough living steel to actually post it on. How many have you got in our bags? 5. Okay, well let's post on these things. They've got 7,800 gold at the moment, so I'll just leave that for the moment. Anything we need to do cooldown wise though? Let me just check. Transmute living steel, we do have a lot of this, so let's create one of those, get another living steel going. We have lots of trillion bars thanks to the ghost iron ore that I managed to convert from Nyx the other day, so we'll leave that there for the moment. I might try and put that living steel on now that I do have. How much do I have on me at this stage? I have the 5 on the auction house, 1 in the bags. Okay, we'll leave that one on for the moment actually, because we've got the 5. We'll leave that for the moment. That should be fine. And then we'll head back to Samadan and we'll start on the restocks, I think. Hey Mugs, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. My week was very good, thank you very much. I started at 8 PM UK time tonight, so we've only been on for 19 minutes, so you haven't missed much. We've just gone through the mailbox, and everyone has collected up their gold, and we have a total of about 90,000 gold for the past 3 days, so that's about 30,000 gold a day, which for me is about average, I'd say. Alright, so let's have a look. Samadan needs to restock. We ought to really go... Actually, we're near the guild bank. We can do it this side. So let's check the auctions. We did get a couple of sales there of some sinister gear. 5,000 each of those. Everything else is fine. We could check the Bracer Super Shuffle for some items. We're still just over 2 million. I bought 3 tokens the other day. 1 to give my son some game time, and 2 for myself to add to balance, ready for my next 6 months game time. I think more than May, You had 1 million in May. My May was 720 odd thousand profit. It was, so it was pretty good for May. About 750,000 I think it was. So let's have a look at this. Deep Sea Satin, there's a little bit of that that's below my average buy price. How much have we got? 220. We don't have a lot of this, so I think I'm just going to buy... I mean, it is pretty expensive, but 53 is my average. So I'm going to just take those and those. Not going to go for the 200, I don't think. That's a little bit too high. The Tide Spray's a little bit high, although 416 is still reasonable, and I do have 9,000 of it left. Conversely, Shimmer Scale's really expensive at 11 gold 85, so we won't be doing that any time soon. And I have most of the other stuff. Nylon thread I might as well pick up. These scraps here up to 50 will take. Although I will leave some of these singles just on the auction house. So I'll take that and that one. One more, there we go. And then we can take the rest of these all the way up to... Oh, that's too much. That's gone beyond 50. There we go. And embroidered deep sea satin, we do have 175 of that at the moment, so we could possibly take some more of that. There is only actually 4 on, so we'll leave that for the moment. Okay, so that's done.
If you find anything exotic,
We'll go collect those up whilst we have them. Collect those purchases. You spend a lot buying lots of the quartermaster mounts, pets, toys and unique appearance gear. Wow, yeah, I bet you are trying to get all the things. Although that's quite nice, being able to do all the things with money, which is quite a good way of doing it, I think. It's a shame you can't do everything that way. So let's have a look at restocking. Let's clear the queue, move this back over this side. Okay, so restocking on Samadan, probably going to be a fair amount. Yep, we've got loads of stuff here. So lots of packs of haste, 12 packs of haste. We could possibly look at a reset of the market of those if they're not too expensive. Cooking, there's another 10 feasts we need there, and a bit more here on the tailoring. Rallying swiftness seems to be a thing at the moment. So let's have a look at what we would need gathering for this. Chanting, cooking and tailoring. Blood of Sargeras, we need 1. A few essences, shard crystals. Veiled crystals, we need 80, and I've only got 4, so that's a lot of bracer shuffles we'd need to do for that. So let's have a look at those packs of haste first. What kind of price are they at the moment? So shopping wise, let's go to the good packs here and run a shopping scan. So packs of haste are currently at 1,100. Now we could possibly push that price a little bit higher. 1,300 is a potential market for those. How many have we got here? So 1,100 is here, 1,290 is here. My crafting cost is 572. So I could possibly look at pushing the market up on both of these, save me having to craft any, which would save me quite a lot of veiled crystals, but I'm going to have to buy a fair amount of it to buy up all of this up to that point, and to buy all of these up to that point, and then relist them back on. So, I mean, that would only make me a couple of 100 gold per item, but it would save me on having to craft them. I'll get a lot more profit though if I use my veiled crystals that I can make through the bracer shuffle, because that gives me an extra 600 gold. So a couple of choices there. I'm tempted to go with the haste and buy those out, because I have 1 on and there's less of those than there are of critical strike. There's 6 there and 6 there. So I think we should be safe to maybe do a reset on the Pact of Haste. Looking at those numbers, I have to cancel my one off. Is it? Spend more time on mount farming, but you have the gold to buy the most expensive vendor mounts. which is pretty easy. It just says you make 29,000 gold a day last month. That's a pretty consistent amount, Mushy. Yeah, definitely good. Death Arrow, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Less than normal is 44 per day average. Yeah, I think that would be about right, I guess, because you are online a lot more and have a lot more professions than I do by comparison. And I'm making about 30,000 myself, so I'd expect you to make, 44, 45 would be a decent amount by any standards. So let's have a look and take off my haste. Let's go through this. So Pact of Haste, I'm going to take these two off, and then I'm going to go back and have a look. Let's rescan those two. Now the trick here is to not buy this one at the bottom, because that's going to be way too expensive. But I'm going to buy all of the other ones. How many would that give me? We've got 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23 packs of haste in total. I think I could safely reset those. Let's take these expensive ones out. Probably not going to make a huge profit margin on these, but it does save me a lot of time. There we go.
If you find anything exotic,
Let's go with those, and then pick them all up, and my cancels, and I'll post them straight back on, and that will save me an awful lot of veiled crystals. Let's have a look. Pact of Haste is going to go on for, looking at this list, critical strikes as 1-1. Where's the Pact of Haste? There it is. Pact of Haste at 4,400. We're not going to do it for that price, but we'll start with that and we'll work our way down. You never know, we might get a sale or two of that. It's better than the 500,000 that was on a minute ago. So let's post these all on. 109 of them. Hey Marsper, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. What did I miss earlier? Half the professions are sold on Blizzard's account, and he has his own gold making. Oh right, okay. Started a very hard reset on Wednesday. Okay, how did that go? You buy all the affordable linen and gloom dust. Wow, pretty nice. Right, there we go. Everything is on. So we've just reset the haste market, the packs of hastes. Whether they turn out to be profitable, we'll find out soon enough. Still work in progress. Well, let us know how you get on. I'm doing very well, thank you, Marsware. We've just gone through, collected all our gold. We're going to do a restock on Samadan. I just saved myself a whole load of veiled crystals by resetting the haste market rather than making them. Yes, they do. They do share the same auction house. It's a lot easier. Although that said, the Sinister gear is faction dependent. So let's have a look at this. Now that we have that on, let's just go back and redo our queue. Because now we won't be making 12 packs of haste. That's going to help immensely with our veiled crystal situation. So now we have all of these, and gathering for these will mean, how many veiled crystals would we need now? 32. That's a lot better. That's more manageable. Let's do that. So let's open up the task list for this. So we have a few things we can do here. Daily cooldowns we can do. Craft those. And enchanting temporal crystal. We'll do that one. And we'll minimize that and that. Quite a lot of stuff here you want from the auction house, but actually the aromatic fish oil I can make myself most likely. Red tail loach, we need quite a lot of that. Fatty bear steak a little bit. Gloom dust, we can make that ourselves. And then buy from vendor, all those bits. Okay. Well, let's start with a bracer shuffle, I think, because we're going to need a lot of that anyway. So we don't need this just at this stage. So let's start through. Crafting wise, let's go to the standard. So I can currently make 78 tide spray linen. That's based off my nylon thread there, so we need to get some more nylon thread. Let's pick up a whole load of that. Wrong one. Vendor. Let's go to the buy, and then we will buy. Where is it? I can't see the nylon thread. There it is. So let's buy 2,000 of it. That should keep us in stock for a while. And then I'm going to pop that in the bank so it doesn't take up any space. So we'll go here and we'll do /TSM put nylon. There goes the thread in there. So that leaves me with 91 space at the moment. Wonder if I can clear off any of my reagents at the time. Have I got any space? Deposit reagents. A few bits and pieces. Doesn't give me a lot of space, to be honest. Okay. So let's move on back over here. Check the auction house. We did buy. We already bought them from the auction house up to 50 silver. To shoot the V. Thank you. Yes, we did. We did check, Mushy. Luckily, we already did that. So we're going to go and make. We can make 478 now. So let's start with this. See how many we get on first. We'll get the process going. You have more from the auction house than from the vendor. Do you really? There's not really that much I've found on the auction house. When it comes to, you always have a bait one. Yeah, that is a good point, actually. Having one that's at the right kind of price to help people put underneath that price is always useful. Hua12, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Is it worth stacking up on enchanting stuff at 8.2? I would say so, but for me, I'm just carrying on making them, because I would stock on if I could. But whenever I do make any excess stock, I always sell stuff and then have to make some more. So I'm never in a position where I can stock up. But if you want to capitalise on early sales, then having a good stock of veiled crystals and umbra shards and gloom dust would be useful, certainly. And if you make 1,000 braces, it takes a long time, certainly. You spend more linen than nylon to make them, but you get equal amounts back. Spend more linen than nylon, but then you get equal amounts back. That's interesting. What's my least favourite race? Interesting. Also, you get 2,000 linen back and 2,000 linen. Exactly. Interesting. Hey, Speckett, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. So my least favourite race, I would say... I've not played all of them, so I couldn't say. I mean, I do enjoy human. I don't think I actually have a least favourite. The only thing I have an issue with, perhaps, is with Tauren. Not because of the looks or anything. It's simply because they seem to be really slow when they run. It seems quite lumbering because they have to run slowly to match the pace of regular characters. It always seems like you're running slowly. You just don't get what's fun about it. Good one, Beckett. Okay, so we're going to have a whole lot of stuff going into our mailbox at the moment. So I'm just going to carry on making this, let this run through, and what we'll do is we'll pick out the blues and send the greens to Erfen in one shot, and that will be a nice way to just condense it into two different chunks, really, because we've got a lot of stuff on our task list here anyway. Some stuff to buy from the auction house, some stuff to craft, some vendor stuff, a lot of stuff to get from the guild bank. So we'll deal with that in a moment. But first we'll make a whole load of braces, get through all of that first. Yes, definitely when nobody gets hurt, Darkwing. But I used to watch Formula 1 way back when. But it used to be very interesting and then very boring for a long time, and then interesting again. Found yourself running out of Chaos Crystals and can't find a great method to replenish your stock. What method have we all been using? It's not an easy method, but looking out for the Elite Strike Centenax mission to get the 7,000 Nether Shards is always useful. The other one... Which one's that? The Seven is OP. Okay, I don't know that one. I think I might have missed something there. Isn't it the same for Draenei? Oh, the running animation. Oh, right, I see, I'm with you. Yes. Yeah, it could be. It could be that. It could be that because it's kind of like they got such a long stride, it's difficult. And they got the same shaped legs as well, so I can see how they would have the same animation. Although slightly different, perhaps. Watched the first few minutes of F1 until final and started now in half time. You got TSM related question? Okay, Speckett. You want to set up Sniper on your second account, but is there a way to make TSM sounds get through? Not sure if it's spelled this correct. Please correct me. And all other sounds muted. I'm not sure whether they have a separate sound effect. I guess you would have to just turn on all the sounds and just try and think of something that's going to be quite obvious for the TSM sound. But I can't think of a way you could just do the TSM sound. So a Legion mission. You've been crafting belts and doing Legion World Quests, so you still can't keep up. It's tricky. Luvia, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Have a sound in the background under sound settings. Gorga, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Olivia, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And lurking the most important in between. No problem, Darkwing. No problem at all. So we're going on with everything here for the moment. We're nearly done with our tie spray linen. We'll go through all this at the moment. Good evening, Scoreshane. Doing very well, thank you very much. Had a glorious day. My wife spent a lot of time gardening today, and I spent a little bit of time playing WoW with my son, who's I gave him a token to see if he can get himself some gold, and he's been enjoying playing his characters again, so that was nice too. Thank you, Gorgo. Kind of you to say so. And Ashalina, thank you also for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week of gold making. And good evening, Rasheen. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hoping to put him to work for me. Yes. Well, interestingly, the professions my son's chosen are different to the ones I've got so far. So he's got characters that have engineering. He's got an inscription character, and he's got one that's just started jewel crafting as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does with those professions. We got some good ideas off Gumdrops yesterday on his stream for engineering, so we've got a good start on that. Inscription, I've suggested he levels up to 120 and gets all the rank 3s, and then he can start doing things like contracts and everything to see if he can get some gold through that. So it should be quite good. Rogor, thank you very much for the follow. I'm doing very well, thank you, Rasheen. Just going through, we're going to make a whole load of bracelets here because we need some veiled crystals. So we've got a whole bunch we're going to need to make. So I'm just going to let this run through, and then we'll disenchant the blues and send everything else over to Erfen. At 110 you can do war scrolls, very easy to do, and a lot of gold there on many servers. Okay, I'll suggest that one to him, Speckett. War scrolls. I like to get into inscription myself. That will be one of my next. My 110 boost is going to have inscription and jewel crafting, because those are two professions I'd like to try out. But I need to get alchemy up. I was going to do that tonight, but we'll have to restock on Samadan first, and then we'll go over to Jahwakening and see if we can get his alchemy to 150. The contract's not amazing at the moment. Yes, I wonder if it's going to be the new contracts when 8.2 comes out. Assuming there's going to be new contracts, it's going to be the next thing. So contracts is not a good gold maker. Okay, I'll pass that one on. But War Scrolls is. Right. Tick. I'll pass that on to him. Mostly about selling Vantis runes and herbs and meat and leather. I'm not sure about... I think we do get new everything apart from the enchanting, I think. Wrong button. No. That's the right button. Okay, so we've got a whole load of greens we need to send off, and then a whole load of stuff in the mail. So what we'll do is we'll send this lot to Erfen. So we'll clear my bag of all of that lot. Oh, there's one missing there. Let's do a... actually, let's collect this lot up first. Open up all of that, all the spares we just made. And then we'll do a reload once I've done. Collected up all of this. Then we'll send that lot over. And then we've still got a few left here, but what we'll do, we'll leave that for now. We'll do a reload and that will come through on the next lot, I think. What did I miss? We do all of that. Okay, we get new everything. It's going to be interesting. Still running some steady gold though. Not massive, but worth keeping contracts up if they're profitable. Yeah, I would always suggest spreading out, do a bit of everything if you can. Okay, so we need to open up this lot of mail, and then we'll send on the rep. Have we been looking into if there's a profit making enchanter wands and disenchanting them? I haven't checked that out yet, Evocati. I know it was a good way of using up some excess Umbra shards, because you do tend to get quite a lot of them at the moment. I've got 2,600 at the moment, 2,400 in the guild vault, so yeah, it is a little bit of an issue. Okay, let's send those over. So they're now done. So then we should be able to wait for that to reset through, and then we'll get the next lot in. So we're basically just filtering out all the greens, sending those over to Erfen, whilst keeping all the blues myself, and I'm going to disenchant those in a moment. Though nowhere near as good as Startman Trinkets for gold making as new patch expansion. Several reasons. Slowed by cheap gloom dust. Okay, pretty good. Excuse me. Forgot yesterday, I recommended gyromatic micro adjusters too, and arc light spanners. Okay, thank you, Ashelina. I'll add those to the list. Notice that if we have Darkshore Waterfront, you sell a lot of enchants. I guess people getting new equipment would make sense there, definitely. Depends on your price and how and the flow of Umbra shards. You're down to 1,000 Umbra shards. Okay, that's not too bad. You'll turn your Umbras into gloom dust. I mean, fair enough. You can buy a gloom for under 10, where Umbra are at 100. Okay. Yeah, if you can't, why turn it into gloom dust if you can turn it into a veil crystals with the wand? Recently decided to start selling more of the raw Umbra shards. Hold on, let me just mail these over whilst that's going through. And veiled crystals. The shuffle is great for getting cheap mats, but it seems to be better to sell those directly rather than turning them into enchants. If it works for you, Wisecoder, then by all means definitely do it that way round. I know there's a lot you can do depending on your market and different ways of twisting the shuffle. I did think about that for veiled crystals myself, because looking at veiled crystals, where are they individually? How many have I got? So currently my veiled crystals give me a mat cost of 87, It currently got a min buyout of 148. So for me, it would be better for me to sell the enchants than selling the veil crystals. But I can understand looking at that region market value at 250. If they're up more like that, then there's a bit more money to be squeezed out of every single veil crystal. So it's definitely worth looking into, looking at the numbers. Okay, let's send these on over. And then check this when it comes through. Oh, we need to do a reload on that. Let that come through. There we go. It's so lovely you play WoW with my son. Can't wait to do the same with your daughter. She's 4.5 months. Yeah, it's got a while, but I introduced WoW to my son and my daughter back when they were sort of 4 or 5, and they love just making characters and running around. And so it's great for them to have seen, and now my son's 15, so he's seen WoW sort of develop all through his childhood. It was funny watching him the other day play Classic, and just seeing how different it was. Now let's just open this up, then I'll catch up on chat because I've been missing out on a few bits. Let me just scroll down. Oh, thank you. I heart my ducks. Thank you very much, Speckett. Or alternate Speckett. That's a lovely name. Do you have a string for the cost of Veil Crystals, Umber Shards and Gloom Dust? I have it through my Bracer Super Shuffle. That'll be the best way to use that. I think it's Shuffle. Let's try that one. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Meshi. That gives you the price and the TSM strings. But there's also a video explaining the whole process because it's quite convoluted. So I'd recommend having a look at that as well on my YouTube channel. Let's just send these on over. How am I doing? I'm nearly through with all of this mail. Just let that go through. Let me just scroll back up. What else did I miss out on? Let's open that. What's this one? Chance only sell if you have the Warfront, the 400 one, or when the chest opens up after the easier weeks. Gonna be a while, yeah, definitely, but you can still start, certainly. Let's just send that lot over. Nearly gone through that. You might have a mat cost of like 50 gold and selling for 240. Yeah, that's a good margin wise, Coder. I certainly would consider selling a few myself at that price. Coming back from after many months away from WoW and been catching up on gold making. Glad to see my still here. Excellent Fallout. Good to see you as well. Really enjoying gold making. There's still plenty for me to do, so I'm still carrying on. How much space we got left? 39 slots, so not much left. Let's just go through this last lot of mail, see if we can deal with all of these. Who's an alternative view? I'm very unique. You are indeed, Speckett, but I Heart My Ducks is very similar to your love of ducks, so we have two lovers of ducks. That's fantastic. Buy all my shirts from the vendor in Dalaran. Excellent. Especially the lucky ones regime. Chances only 116 so far. Yeah, you got to have Uyn's Enchanting Rod, definitely. Now selected groups. There is a duck, but there's a duck lover in everyone. I would say so. I think they are lovely creatures. Not quite as nice as Dotty, the chicken though. I would go for Dotty over a duck, I think. Right, nearly there. Let's just run through all of these. That's about to reset through, so let that go through. Fill up all of this. And then send on that lot over. And then go back to here, pick up those. And send the last lot over. So now Erfen has had a load and load of greens sent to him, and we have a load of blues left over from everything here. So let's just shift left click that, make sure everything's here, and then we can disenchant all of this slot and hopefully get a few veiled crystals this way. A chicken you can cuddle, yeah. Lucy loves duck. Not sure the way you guys do that. No. Cookie loves duck as well, in the same way Lucy does. She absolutely loves it. I've got lots of veiled crystals coming now already. That's 3 already. That's a good start. Yeah, chickens do like a good cuddle. Dottie can attest to that, certainly. What else have I missed? True Gaming, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Can you get the dungeon mats from normal, or does it need to be heroic? The dungeon mats for the enchanting rod, I believe you can just get it on normal. Great flavour, definitely. Look at that! 2 packs of Haste just sold for 4,400. Our reset worked. Fantastic. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, at that price. That's a great start. Let's keep up with that. Let's go through. We're going to disenchant all of these. Getting a few veiled crystals here. Not obviously the most we're going to get through doing the other one. Is it a special day in the UK today? No, nothing of any particular note today. Lots of veiled crystal coming in. You have White Sunday. That's an interesting one. Why is it called White Sunday? Is it next Sunday? Is it Fallout? I can't remember the date of it. I should know, really. Being a father. Right, I'm doing well so far on the veiled crystals. Pentecost. Oh, right, okay. I know nothing about that. It's a familiar name, though. You sold 800 plus intel pots in under a week. You have over 250 left. Wow, that's pretty good gold. Hey, Dad Freddy, how are you? Sorry for being late. No problem at all. Anytime people can come in is more than appreciated. Started multi-boxing, so forgot about space and time. Wow, how's it going with the multi-box? So you got a day off tomorrow? Oh, fantastic. Yesterday was the Queen's birthday. Ah, was it? Okay. And National Donut Day here in the US. Wow. We've got all the days. That's fantastic. No, I don't think we've got anything particularly special this Sunday in the UK. But it does sound like everyone's getting some good days. No sign of Oreo yet. I think it's a bit early. But we do actually have... We do have a cookie, actually. You can't quite see her. She's just there. Just curled away in the corner. Going well, level 115 with 4 druids. Really fun and different. Excellent. Well, it's always good to mix things up and try different things. Lucid finally a buy non pickup item in the forges. Why is that not on a character that can't equip it? Oh no. That is a sad moment. Sorry to hear, Mushy. I was going to say, why is that a bad thing if you looted it, but then you said it was on a character that can't use it. It's a shame you can't just make it bind on account. Alright. I'm going to have a check of the packs of Haste after this in a minute, just to see if anyone else has put any on. Because we did get 2 sales, which is a promising start, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. Nabel Stendaro, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. We're just going through and doing a bit of a Bracer Super Shuffle here, getting ourselves some Veiled Crystals. We need to do some restocking on Samadan. We've got currently 27 Veiled Crystals, so we need about 40 or 30. I don't remember exactly how many. And we also need some Gloom Dust, so we'll need to do some more Bracers the other way. But what we'll do now is let's swap over to Erfen and do a little bit of scrapping and go through a lot of that. So we've got a load of stuff got sent through from Samadan. So we'll have a look at this, see if we can deal with that. You made 120 last week, and out of... What's H turn already again? Right, let's have a look. Okay, what space have we got? 102. That should be enough for the moment. Let's go on over. I have a big issue trying to get any of the purple crystals for enchanting. Do you, Last Starfighter? Do you have Uin's enchanting rod? Have you done the quest for that? And do you have it in your bags rather than your bank? Would be my first two questions for that. Okay, look at all of those tie spray braces. We need to pick up all of these as much as we can. You saw a situation of a shortage of intellect scrolls on your server, and you just leveled a scribe. Oh, excellent. That's a good start. Ah, you don't. Okay, so you need to be 120 and have maximum enchanting of 150, and then you need to go to your enchanter trainer at your city and do the Uin's enchanting rod quest and get that, because that will give you a much better return on your veiled crystals. You'll get them from blues and you'll get a lot more from purples as well. So it's really definitely recommended. Okay, we don't have any spare slots here, so let's just get rid of those two. I think we can probably just vendor sell. Let's deal with those. Let's go this way, sell that and that. Actually give us the space we need to then scrap all of this lot. Let's go through here and let's just ignore some of these. Add these to the ignore list. Not going to deal with these just yet. Go through all of the rest of that, queue that up, and we can start scrapping. There we go. What did I miss? Okay. And do you know about the trick to craft honourable leather items that you then disenchant? Which is what exactly I'm going to do, as Mushy's just said. Scrapping all of this to get my expulsum. That you do the mail to your enchanter to disenchant. And will these mats be as important during the next patch with the new materials? Well, I don't think enchanting has new materials, so we should be able to do the same thing. Is the plan really? So yeah, the whole process here, for those that are new to it, is I'm literally making tie spray linen braces and then disenchanting the blues and sending the greens to my leather worker, who is then going to scrap all the greens to get expulsum and then use that expulsum to make honourable combatants braces and then send those back to Samadan, and who's going to disenchant those to get more veiled crystals and gloom dust. But that's what works out cheap for me. Using the spreadsheet you can find out, depending on what you buy and what's cheap, it might not be tie spray linen braces, it might be the shimmer scale braces, or some people have also found that it's not the honourable braces that you can make and send back, but the sinister ones can sometimes be cheaper. So cloth braces equals expulsum, expulsum equals honourable braces, disenchant mats with Uin's. Exactly Fallout. That's it. If you have a look on the spreadsheet, on the shuffle, there's on the first tab, there's a little infographic. Let me see if I can find it. Let's just go over. Let's just open it up. Oops, still loading. Let that run through. There we go. Just move this one over. Oh, a little bit slow. So not this original one without the rod. Don't use that one. If we go across all the way to the left here, the infographic here, this shows you the process in a visual form. Let me just redo my scrap, then come back. So you buy all of this lot, and you make the cheapest of these three braces, and then you disenchant the blues, scrap the greens, and send those materials back to do the process again. The person who makes the cheapest honourable bracer to disenchant, either one of these three usually, then you send those to your enchanter to then disenchant there, and then you make enchants. That's the process anyway. And it's a lot of scrapping, as you can see I'm doing here. This is going to take a long time. And don't disenchant the blues before you have the rod, absolutely, because you need the rod to get veiled crystals. You get a much better chance of veiled crystals. You need to go farm coarse leather while you're letting your people starve. You give them sinister gear instead. Right, so how are we doing for Expulsum? We've got 18 at the moment, so that would transfer into at least 18 veiled crystals, probably more. Let's just go and get another batch. So we're going to open up a whole another bag lot of braces. And then once we've filled up our inventory, in order to give myself those spare 2 slots to make room for the scrapping, I'm going to send the nylon thread and the tie spray linen that we got from the scrapping back to Samadan. Once this has all come through, it's a fair amount of stuff. There it is, all coming through. Let that run through. Have you looked at inscription scrolls? In a world of Mythic Plus, they are very useful. Yeah, my son has just started inscription, so I'm definitely going to suggest he does the war scrolls and drums as well. Yeah, definitely. So let's go over here and mail selected items there. What have I just actually sent over? Sending coarse leather arm cards. Why am I sending coarse leather arm cards to Samadan? That doesn't make sense. I'm not sure I've got that in a group, but we haven't sent anything because there's a free space here. Oh, that's on the group that does any of the blues and I haven't got any. Okay, that makes more sense now. Now I understand. It was just saying it might send them rather than it has sent them. Okay. Confusion averted. Let's head on back over here and carry on with some scrapping. Then I'll see how I'm doing on the chat window. There we go. Let's got everything here. Cue that up. And start scrapping again. There we go. Right, what else have we missed? Spirit Wolf, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. What's up, Lizard GM? And did you know, and drums as well, you can tell your mailbox to keep 3 slots empty. Yes, I had got that set up. For some reason it's not working on Erfen. Maybe it's a per character thing, because I had a look here on my settings under inventory mailing, and I've got here amount of bag space to keep free. I've got 3, but for some reason it's not working for Erfen. Bit of a strange one. Wow, Tisselmania, thank you very much. 9 months in a row, that's amazing. How's it going? Been a while since you last played WoW, like 6 months, but still a great fan of your streams. Keep up the good work. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Tisselmania, for actually still subbing whilst you don't play WoW. That really is appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's see, lots of Chef's Hats, Long Boy Love, Oreo Love. Oh, I still haven't done my next emote, actually. Thinking of that, we need ideas for my next emote. I was thinking a sack of gold or cookie or Pierre or something. If you got any ideas, let me know. What else did I miss? The Epic Craft Gear 340 for tailoring or leatherworking doesn't sell, and you have to disenchant for veil crystals instead. It sells for me. It's done on purpose for get veil crystals. Yes, exactly. This is what we're doing particularly, just to get this honourable gear to give us the veiled crystals, because it's a cheap way of getting veiled crystals, cheaper than buying them yourself. Good evening, Will Webster. How are you doing? I've saved you a bunch of annoyance. You need to set that up. It is useful, definitely, but for some reason I don't know why it doesn't work on Erfen. The scrapper remote, that could be a good one, yeah, definitely. Or a tie spray linen bracer, as I'm doing so much of it. That is enough to send anyone. Purple is 9 months. I think so. I think it's that way around. Yes, purple is 9 months, and then gold is for the year. Yeah, yeah. This is emotes, not the colours. I need to do. I've got another emote slot free. The last one was Oreo. I wasn't sure whether, in fairness, I should do a cookie one as well, or whether to do something completely different, like a Pierre. Have to have a look. Have a think. Give me ideas on Discord or Twitter. If you can think of an emote you'd like, let me know, and I'll draw something up. Make the next emotes look like shuffling cards, but with tie spray linen instead. Interesting. I'm not sure how I'd draw that. Cookie, definitely. I think it wouldn't be. She's there in the corner. It wouldn't be fair for me to have an Oreo emote and not have a cookie emote. Although she doesn't frequent the stream as much as she used to, she is still here. Right, so how are we doing? We are now at 36 expulsums. That was a good run there. So let's go through and do another batch. I find it easier to do these in largish batches like this, where I've just got a mailbox to run back to and forth. Cookie gets enough attention. She does. They both get a lot of attention during the day. Cookie was enjoying the sun earlier, which is always nice to see. Alright, I'm running through a fair amount now. 35 left, so we made good progress with this so far. Wow, Mr. Redblade, 12 months, congratulations. Thank you very much for a whole year's worth of subscribing. That is amazing. Thank you very much indeed for your continued support. Really do appreciate it. Let's see, lots of emotes with Mr. Redblade. Thank you very much indeed. Right, send those back to Samadan. Leaves us my 2 slots free. I wonder if it's a TSM thing when opening mail between characters that it doesn't save the slots. That could be a thing. I don't know, I'd have to look into it. Yes, they do get to go outside. Not for much. They're not very outdoorsy cats. But both Cookie and Oreo like to go out into the garden when the Siamese cat isn't out there, the neighbour's cat, terrorising them. But when it's peaceful and when we're out, they definitely like to come out. Subscribing for 12 months. Samadan stopped streaming 1 week later. That would be very sad, Speckett. Yes, I don't plan on stopping streaming. I know I've reduced it to once a week, but that's a more healthy balance between me and my family at the current stages. But I want to make sure that I can continue doing this for as long as possible. Are there more gold sinks you can take advantage of? Do I have all 3 frogs? I don't have all 3 frogs. I'd be more interested in getting the spider first. That would be a good one. At the moment I'm thinking whether there's other things I could do, like getting into gold cap would be one, getting some more battle.net balance to be able to afford sort of all these sort of the shop bought mounts and pets and things like that would be nice. I'd also like to be able to buy the Warcraft 3 Reforged with battle.net balance. So there's a few extra things I'd like to do. Balance between work and hobby and family, exactly, Mushy. Hurry Anwin, thank you for stopping by, hope you're doing well. Love your stream, well, it's very kind of you to say so. Appreciate you stopping by. We're just going through and we're doing a huge amount of scrapping at the moment in order to get Expulsum, which we can then turn into Honourable Combatants Braces, which we can then send to my enchanter Samadan and disenchant to make very cheap Veiled Crystals. That's the process anyway. We need about 40 Veiled Crystals. This should be plenty because we're already at 44 Expulsum. And this will be enough to restock on Erfen as well, so this is a good restocking session. We'll need this for the future, definitely. Just going to let that run through and keep on scrapping. Not doing too badly so far. Can be fairly quick doing this, as long as you keep an eye on the scrap and scrap when you can. That's interesting, we just lost the scrapping sound then for a minute. Very strange. There we go. Will 8.2 change the shuffle? I don't think so. I think it will be the same because the materials will be the same, but it might be that Sinister gear is cheaper. Good evening, Sensors. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Really do just do amount needed times 6 and make that 6 times the amount you need. Well, that's loads. Yeah, pretty much ends up enough. In terms of braces, so you basically make 6. So if you had 40, you times that by. If you need 40 veils, you do 240 braces. Okay, that's a good ballpark. I like that. Yeah, I probably did a lot of overkill making 400 odd braces, didn't I? But this will give me good stock for Samadan for later, definitely. So we're nearly done on this batch, certainly. This should be enough, I think. Not sure how much I'm going to fill up on this lot. Let's watch it go through. Yeah, so that's a good ballpark, Mushy. Times it by 6. Did I get some cheap tie spray? I got it for under 4 gold. So yes, I did get it pretty cheap. I think I should probably have used all of it up by the time I've gone through all of this. Price for veiled on your server is 208, and you buy tie spray linen for 430 per stack. So was that enough? 430, is that enough? What's that? Divided by 200. That's 215 per. So I'd say it was definitely worth it. 2 gold 15 per tie spray linen would give you a decent amount. If you have a look on the spreadsheet and put those numbers in, it will definitely show you a profit, I'm pretty sure. So what's the best way to get Marks of Honour? It will be, at the moment, is to wait for a PvP brawl on the calendar. So there's one coming up here on next Wednesday, 12th of June. And for every 120 character, do that for the bonus mission and the quest. And you will get 5 Marks of Honour for completing whatever it is you need. So it's Deep Wind Dunk for this one. And then, that's a tough one actually, Deep Wind Dunk. I hope they do the computer one again. That would be nice. You get 5 for that, and usually if you get a win as well, you'll probably get another 3. So usually you can get a good 8 Marks of Honour per successful one of that. So it's definitely worth doing. And if you have more level 120 characters, do it once for each one, and then you should get a decent amount of marks that way. That's probably the best way of doing it, I would suggest. Let's just start this scrapping going again. I don't think it's PvP, exactly. Yeah. Sporkas, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. 24th of July, is it? Mark that week in your calendar. Oh, right, okay. Excellent, Mushy. I'll definitely do that one, because versus the AI, it was a lot easier to get your PvPs. Yeah, have all characters to 120. That would be very nice if I could get to that stage. I'd definitely like to have Erfen up to 120 soon, and then I'll use my 110 boost that I've still got and get them leveled up to 120. So hopefully I can have 4 characters at 120. That should help, hopefully. Black Temple, thank you very much. Kind of you to say so. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're enjoying your evening. We're just running through. Nearly got all the scrapping done. How are we doing for Expulsum? We currently have 54, so that's a decent amount. Guess who finished his bachelor degree and has absolutely nothing to do for a change? Oh, congratulations, Swarkas. Well done. What did you get your degree in? Congratulations nonetheless. That's a great achievement. Let's see some thumbs up, boost all loves, and a bit of Oreo. Congratulations, Swarkas. There's a Nazmir invasion if you're interested. Is there gold? Okay, thank you for that. I might well do that with Erfen. We are currently sat at about 1/3 of the way into 115, so that would definitely be worth doing. Wish you only had 4 characters at max level. You just keep logging between characters with no clue what to do. 21 max level characters, another 13 between 110 and 120. Wow, that is absolutely loads. That's brilliant, but crazy. Congratulations. Master of TSM Science. Bachelor of Computer Science, fantastic. Probably with the first, you didn't absolutely ruin your dissertation. Congratulations. Computer Science is a good one to have, I'm imagining. Is that more the programming side of things, Swarkas? Is that the focus of computer science? Or is there more to it for that kind of degree? Just came on this channel. Why am I scrapping all these braces? The reason I'm doing this is it's called the Bracer Super Shuffle, and I am basically I'm taking Tide Spray linen braces. Oh, here comes Oreo. Hold on one moment. Sorry, scrapping. We've got an Oreo. Oh, sorry, Oreo. That's the wrong view. Could you turn around for the camera, please? Let's just turn you around here. There we go. That's a bit better. There we go. Thank you, Mushy, for the link. So what we're doing is we're taking Tide Spray linen braces. We are... Oh, where's my infographic? That will be easier. We are... actually, no, I'll just explain it. It'd be better. So with cheap Tide Spray, which I bought for less than 4 gold. Golden Gremlin, thank you very much for using your Prime. Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. Welcome to the Samadan squad. Here's a whole load of emotes for you to use. Thank you very much for your support, really is appreciated. So yes, going back to this and then I'll come back to the chat. So we are taking Tide Spray linen braces, we are disenchanting the blues, we're scrapping the greens. The character that's scrapping the greens is my leather worker here, that is going to use the expulsum we're getting from scrapping the greens to make honourable combatants braces. And with those honourable combatant braces, we are going to send them back to my enchanter, who's going to disenchant them, because you'll get veiled crystals from the purples. And it's basically, the reason we're doing all of this is to get very cheap materials for enchanting, so we can make a nice profit on enchanting. That's the process, anyway. I know I've missed a few things on chat there, so let me just go have a quick scroll up. Yes, thank you, Golden Gremlin. That's very kind of you. Yes, sorry, Rasheen. It was the wrong angle, wasn't it? Severely lacking on crystals on reset day this week, unfortunately. So you just crafted 1,200 braces, scrapping time. That's a lot of braces to do. We've just done about 400. It didn't take us too long actually to do that. We still need to do the final end of it though. We'll get that going in a moment. Can be programming or developing, you think? At least it was when you got yours. Okay, Darkwing. Yeah, it's programming, software engineering principles, databases. Since you did security stuff, you did a lot of cryptography and ethical hacking. Interesting. Very interesting. Off to do the masters now. It never ends. Wow. Yes. I know Kuhn is always a fan of forever learning, and I think that's true. We always do learn. Whenever you've got an interest in something, we're learning. Can you make me go with a crappy job? Or you can do like me and go with a crappy job in IT support and then quit. Yeah, that's true, Will. There's other avenues. Or you could do like me and do an animation degree and then do boring corporate animations. Still, farming transmog's never been as fun as when running with a speed druid. I have a base speed of 190. Very nice. Have you seen Reckles Want to Buy Gold's YouTube channel on... he's got some good videos on making a fast character. That's pretty good. To be honest, thinking of teaching, good idea, Will Webster. I like that. Do you have to live through an auction house? Did I have to live through an auction house shortage? No, not really. It's all been pretty okay for me at the moment. And you always have to keep learning. Exactly. What are my predictions for the shuffle once 8.2 launches? Do you think it will be more or less profitable than now? I think so long as the enchanting materials remain the same, then it will be more profitable because people will be scrabbling to get the new enchants. So as soon as you're mid auction house shortage, yes, with no coarse leather, I can imagine. Still need to get a few pieces of gear to increase your speed a bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. No leather, yeah. So that would be definitely a reason to farm it, certainly. So we'll send this back, send all this tide spray back. So groups, send that to Samadan. Now we need to just check if we don't need to use some of this to make some sinister gear ourselves. So let's go check on Erfen for the moment, and then just have a look at my auctions. There we go, everything's there. Then we'll go to leatherworking, and we'll do a restock. Let's clear this queue and do a restock for Erfen. So we are going to need to make some sinister gear, also some drums of fury, interestingly. Okay, so let's deal with those. Let's make these up, and that will give me a good opportunity to sort out some chat. There we go. Honestly, wish you had patience for teaching. Incredibly noble profession, but you'd doom any kids or teens you taught from lack of patience. Well, there is that, isn't there? I guess it does take a certain type of personality, especially a mat you want is just not there. It can be tricky. I always think if there's a mat not there, then there'll be time for me to go out and I'll find a way of farming it myself. You don't farm it, Mushy, you just adjust your prices. That's fair enough. Yours is 111 though. Also make it a that's a freehold, isn't it? Booster. Interesting. I haven't tried doing that myself. Making the server style for enchants. That's fair enough. Do love you some mindless farming. Absolutely. Well, why aren't we making all of these? Hold on. We should be making all of these. That doesn't seem to be working. So let's switch over to Drums of Fury. We could make 1,126 of these, but I'm not going to make that many. We're going to make 98. Let's create them this way. For some reason that wasn't going through. Oh, yes, we haven't got crafting on our crafting gloves, but I don't think that makes a difference for Drums of Fury. It will make a difference with the sinister gear, though. I have to remember to put those gloves on. You never said you were out of coarse leather? Oh, did you not? Oh no, you weren't out of coarse leather. The auction house was out of coarse leather. Very, very important difference. I'll let this Drums of Fury go through. Are those same things as Drums of the Maelstrom? They are similar. There's I've got Drums of the Mountain here. Drums of Fury though are consistent sellers. I think Drums of the Maelstrom I have trouble making a decent profit on. Let me just have a look at the TSM list of these drums. Let's have a look. Search patterns. Drums. That doesn't seem to work whilst we're crafting, interestingly. We'll just let that run through anyway. This is obviously out now because it's not tracking the number of it. Let's see if we can find it whilst it's going. There's Drums of the Maelstrom. So Drums of the Maelstrom are a minus 93 gold profit, so they're not actually worth making for me with those prices. But Drums of Fury are. If I look at Drums of Fury, let's go back. Can we go back? Oh, it looks like we can't go back whilst we're making it. Interesting. That's actually locked itself out at the moment whilst we're making them, so I have to wait for that to finish, I think. I don't want to cancel out of it. And then once that's done, we should hopefully get our crafting window back. Same thing by another name. Drums of Fury are 105 gold. a pop on your server. Functionality equivalent. Yeah, what's the difference between Maelstrom and Fury? I don't actually use drums myself. I did see that, Will. I saw it on Gumdrops' stream. He was talking about it. It was very interesting to see the new things they're going to be introducing. Oh no, we're still doing drums. Let's let that run through. Yeah, I look forward to the new improvements. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Yeah, these are still going. Right, let's have a look. Can we switch yet? No, we can't. We're still making them. The functions in Restock. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Adding a few... I haven't really got my head around what I'd use it for exactly yet. But it could. I'm sure there's going to be people more intelligent than myself who are going to think of some clever ideas to make some nice restock operations and stuff. More optimization, always good. Yeah, I mean, I think tying it in with sale rate is a nice one, especially personal sale rate. I heard Gumdrops mention. If then. Looking forward to it. Yeah, the brackets are debugging. I always find I'm having to write everything out in Notepad and stick it on lots of different lines, and that's the best way for me to work out where all my brackets are going. Yeah, it does look like this won't switch back to the standard user interface, so let's just bring that back up. And now I can't get my leather working up at all, so let's just do a reload. I think that's going to be easy. I think I broke it switching between the two. Personal sale rate is for the next thing, not 0.1, 0.10. Oh, is that right? Okay, yeah, that's maybe a little bit more further on. Okay, so there we go. So let's go back to this. And we made all of these anyway, so I'm going to ignore that. But I will make this Sinister Combatants gear. Because we might as well see if we can capture some sales of this. Missing some calcified bone, apparently. Let's go get some of that. Let's run this way. Find myself some calcified bone. Getting a little bit low on some of this stock. Might have to buy some more. Do have a little bit here. Okay, so what do we need to make? Sinister Combatants. We'll make all of these. And we're missing some coarse leather now. Okay, we're definitely running low on coarse leather. I know that much. This is my last lot here. So I'll take that. And then we'll make this and make the last bits here. TSM3 is not buggy. That's true. There are still some good things in TSM3 that they haven't quite implemented yet in TSM4. Okay, so we made those. How much of Expulse we got left? 59. Okay, so we want to make another 50 Honourable Combatants bracers, I think. That should be plenty for the moment. Let's post on what we've just made, though. Let's get those going. Bugs, you mean features? Right, let's go through auctioning and post. Run a post scan. There we go. Stay with 5 characters, each one doing a different trade skill, so you cover all the bases mostly. Find it interesting. Have more fun making gold compared to gearing the characters. That sounds like a good mix, actually. I'm going to go for similar myself. How are these Drums of Fury doing? 7 gold profit. That's not a huge amount, but I'm going to go with that for the moment. See how we get on for that. What else did we miss? Hold on, what did I miss? Looking at old stuff, a lot of things that do exactly the same stuff from current expansion, like Invis Pots and Respect Tomes. TSM is very, very buggy. Do you think so, Big Mooney? I'm actually finding it incredibly stable these days. But maybe that's just my own way of using it. Maybe I've settled into a fine of... just don't interrupt TSM and it works fine. Yeah, I mean... For instance, that problem I had there with the leather working was me switching between standard interface and TSM interface whilst I was crafting something, so I would expect something to go a bit wrong then. I think he said something that they were talking about it for next time. Okay. User, you don't have TSM4 bug issues. Yeah, exactly. You mean features. Sorry, I missed out loads of chat here. Let me just scroll down. Did that bit. Was you ever upgraded? Still there to be gone. You never upgraded and made some manual fixes. Fair enough. If it works for you, then I see no reason to change. Bacon Bits, good evening. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. And Black Temple, thank you very much for the follow. Umbra Shards on your server is 30 gold each, and Veil Crystals are 160. It's a high pop server. Okay, so those are fairly interesting numbers. At the moment, I haven't got them here. I'll wait till I get onto Samadan. But my Veil Crystals are giving me a map cost of about 80 gold, and they sell for about 160, I think, at the moment. Kuturis, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing great, thank you very much. I'm still running through doing a Brace of Super Shuffle at the moment, so let me just make these whilst I can. We can make 47 without having to get anything, so I'll start with those, I think. That way I can make those whilst I'm sorting out chat. The issue you have mostly with TSM is how poorly it interacts with other popular add-ons. I try to keep my add-ons as a minimum if I can. That way I can avoid conflicts with anything. But I think the main issue TSM has is with looting add-ons that do some sort of fast looting. But I think there are others that have a similar issue as well. Can we sell engineer mounts to people that don't have engineering? I believe so, Last Starfighter, yes. Upgraded just to find out you cannot do your gold making with TSM4, so you went back to TSM3. Yeah, exactly. When restocking enchantments, it bugs. Craft next button always bugs and doesn't always tell you you're missing mats, just shows you like you can craft when you can't. Yes, there is an update issue there. I'd agree with you on that, certainly. My way to work around that is literally the first time it does that bug with going on the craft next is I do a reload, bring the window back up, and then I don't seem to have that problem in that session again. I know it's not ideal, but it's kind of like a workaround that I've just gotten used to. All these things being in common with full time, running out of reason not to use it. Could be. You just got 2 installs, even better. If it doesn't say requires engineering or binds on pickup, then yes. You find yourself reloading 5 or 6 times just restocking each other. Oh right, I certainly don't get that many. Once at most for myself. I always make sure that I've gathered all the items I need to gather first, so I check that first. That might help. That way I always know I've got the materials I need, so I don't have that issue. Let me just go and send these over to... I made all these honourable combatant braces. I'm going to send them over to Samadan. There we go. What else have I missed? Savaborum, thank you very much. Sorry, you've probably left already, but thank you very much for stopping by. Let me just scroll down quickly. I've missed up loads. Visiting your bank regularly clears that up. Sorry, I missed everyone there. Not placing crafting mats in your bank, just mailing so you don't craft. Anywhere except bags and material tab. Yeah, putting them in the bank is only really best done when you're doing it manually through the standard interface, which I tend to do for my Tide Spray linen braces and my honourable combatants and things like that. Right, so we sent those over. We've done that side of the Brace of Super Shuffle. I think it's time we jumped back over to Samadan, finished this up and did some more restocking. Right one too, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. How's your week been? Hope it's been good. We're just going through doing a massive restock with Samadan here. So we're getting loads of braces. We've got some Sinister Combatants gear here. We'll pick that up now, so it's an extra 10,000. So that's taking us to about 100,000 overall for the mailbox today. That includes the whole weekend, really. So happy with that. Doing good. Thumbs up for the enchant video. Thank you very much for that one too. I really did enjoy making that one. It's been a long time coming. So we're just going to go through, continuing with the enchanting theme, and disenchant all of those. All these honourable combatants gear. I mean, this is the other thing that is a slight issue with TSM, is the TSM destroying next, sometimes stalling. It's the same as the craft next. That is slightly frustrating, I must admit, because you like to get into a groove whilst doing this and not have to think about it. Because you're disenchanting 1,000 bracelets every week, and most of your operations are based on average buy, with TSM destroy breaking after only a few disenchants, and buying materials isn't always recorded in TSM. Just can't use it. Yeah, as I was, same as what I was saying here, isn't it? I'm not sure exactly what causes it to stop working. I mean, TSM 3 was around a long time, so it did settle into itself for quite a while. Obviously, they added a lot more by reworking a lot of stuff in TSM 4, so there's bound to be issues, I'm sure. At least you're getting a new UI. Hey, Spatey, how are you? Good to see you stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, TSM 3 doesn't have those issues, which is why you're using it. I mean, if you can get it to work and it works for you, then absolutely. I think my thing was I was still new to TSM when 4 beta came out, so I was quite quick to jump on it and get used to it quickly, as opposed to knowing everything about TSM 3. You just use a macro to do the braces. That would work too, definitely. I think you could do something specific for these. I guess because I've got this for I tend to use it in a more sort of flexible manner. This works well enough for me, certainly. You set the price for Expulsum, and then TSM does the rest for Sinister. Or did I miss something earlier there? Surprised there isn't some kind of code that tells you if Sinister gear is profitable or not, incorporating Expulsum. Yes, as Census says, yes, having a price for Expulsum does that for you. If you don't see a price in there for your Sinister gear, if it's all blank, that's because you don't have a price set for Expulsum. There we go. Do with an add-on extend macro text the name of the braces in all variations is too long, yet still other things remain with TSM4. Oh yes, with all the different variations, that could be tricky, couldn't it? Okay, so that's done. That's done. How many Veil Crystals do we now have? 83. That's more than we need, certainly, but that's great. Let me check. I forgot to check how those packs of haste were doing, because we reset the market on them. We did get a couple of sales, but I expect we've probably been undercut by them by now. I wouldn't expect them to hold that price for a while. So let's have a look. So Pact of Haste are actually still holding at 4,400. Okay. I've got 18 of them still on. So resetting the market's holding so far. No one else has put any on yet. We'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, I'm not expecting it to stick to that price for any length of time, but selling 2 for 8,800 has really helped in sort of. How many did I buy? About 16. No, 18 I bought. So that's paid for at least nearly half of them. So that's a good start. So 83 from about how many braces? About 470. Was it? Did we make? I'd have to check back on the VOD. So it wasn't too bad.
If you find anything
Not an issue because you can't. Oh, what did I miss on there? Bear in mind, it's not an issue because you can't use TSM4 for many other reasons, with average buy being the strongest. a lot of other things. Yeah, I have no idea about football. No idea at all. What was the issue with average buy? Is it because when you've got smart averages on and you've bought a load of things for a certain price and then you get some stock back through a different method than using average buy, but it looks at the price historically and goes back to the old time. So say you got it goes back to the last time you had, say, 100 or 1,000 of that item, and if the last 1,000 of that item was really expensive, then that messes up your average buy, I think. Could that be the issue? I think the Super Shuffle would work on a high pop server. You're currently playing on Argent Dawn EU. I would say just put in your numbers on the spreadsheet, and that will give you an idea as to whether it's worth it or not. Tomorrow you're getting back into WoW. Determined. You do it, Will. Definitely. Me doesn't record the sales if your game crashed before you reload. Okay. Today was a good day. Gotta love Reddit drama. Oh, really, Mr. Honkit? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. If shopping is not recorded without a bug, some shopping is not recorded, so no data, so average buy is never going to be correct. Right, okay. It works on US Kill Jaden, which is high pop. Okay, that's good. System records all sales and shopping bug free. Okay, so it's more to do with crashes and bugs whilst it's recording sales. Okay. I always think of average buy as kind of a guesstimate anyway, because I don't think it can accurately record it, especially if you're getting things through different methods. Oh, and Pact of Versatility that time. Okay, not too bad. A change of material for plate honourable gear. Interesting, Kassar. I'm not sure. Did it ever need Expulsum? Next time, we just have to manually add your sales. Okay. How's the professions levelling going? Very well here at the moment. We need to get into Alchemy. Once I've done my restocks on Samadan, I must get on with that. So let's have a look at what we need to do. So with all our stuff, let's just check the auctions. So we've got this 2 haste coming through there. Let's go through and do a restock on everything now. Restock on selected groups. So we've still got a lot of stuff to restock on here. So gathering wise, let's select our 3 professions. And they're on the task list now. So what have we got? Let's see what we can go through here. So we've done our cooldowns, expirations we don't need. Bolt of Mage Weave we can make. Let's work our way down the list. We can do this with the standard one. Bolt of Mage Weave. We need to go to the guild bank first and foremost. So let's deal with that. Collect everything we need up from there. We also need to do some gloom dust, which means we need to go and disenchant a whole load of stuff. We'll deal with that in a moment. Let's collect up all of that. Let me have a scroll run up. What have I missed? Whoever invented the scrap is giving a ticket to hell for me as his Christmas gift. Yeah, I think the problem with scrapping, which I would like to see addressed, would be that it's limited to 9. If you could just queue everything up like you can with queuing up a whole load of braces, like I made, that's another Pact of Versatility, I made a whole load of braces in one go just by pressing make 400 braces. If I could scrap 400 items, that would be much easier. Just leave it scrapping for a while. That would be much easier. Is TSM like Auctionator? Just can't learn it. It's yes. I've never used Auctionator. I used to use Auctioneer way back in vanilla. But I've seen people use Auctionator. It seems to be a little bit more advanced than Auctionator. And it does have a sort of like a high learning curve to it, but it is definitely worth it from my personal experience. Is there ever point to having too much bracer mats? Prices were good and bought mats, but never seem to have enough time to get it all done and then buy more. Do I limit myself to keep buying when it's crazy cheap? I try to limit myself to if I'm having more than 10,000 tie spray linen, then I know it's time to start making bracers really. Corallin, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Hope you can fix remaining bugs so TSM can be as reliable as 3. I would imagine in time it would certainly be that. That would be the case. Also not try to do linen. They are very expensive. That's true. Yeah. I buy as much as gold you made in the last 7 days. That would make sense. Yeah. Just kind of like keep that gold as a limit to buying things. Scrapmaster Adam makes it way easier, but still kind of limited. Yeah. You use Auctionator with TSM. Okay. Just make it like Obliterate Forge, and you'd be happy. How is it different to? How's the Obliterate Forge different? Can it do more in one go? For fast-paced servers. Oh, okay. Tool for non-goblins. How would you combat someone that farms their own linen and can craft and shuffle much quicker than you can? Well, it's still time, isn't it? So I wouldn't necessarily combat them. I would just try and find a profit margin that I can make based on my own circumstances. And if it's not profitable for me, then I would look for other options. Not necessarily try and combat them or compete with them directly. I'd find other ways around it, really. Maybe there's... maybe I could buy their tide spray linen, or maybe I could just get at least of a bargain and post at a different time to them. There's always a way around it, and not necessarily directly competing with them. Right, let's get that. Fine thread we need. Cold tiramisu we need 10 of. Mysterious essence we need some fish oil 62. Let me check my fish prices. Let's have a look. So aromatic fish oil, and let's also look at fish. Run a shopping scan on those two. Have a look. See if there's... How much is aromatic fish oil at the moment? 15 gold at the moment. And what's the cheapest fish at the moment? 8 gold, 94. Now I have some that I bought for average cheaper than that. What have I bought that's cheap? Lane snapper. I've got 290 of that still left that I bought for 3 gold, 87. So I could probably turn that into aromatic fish oil quite easily. Let's go with that, I think, because that lane snapper is really expensive. 250%. So let's go get some of that and turn it into aromatic fish oil. We only need 62, so let's have a look over here. Let's minimize that and then go, where's that lane snapper? Great sea catfish, lane snapper. Let's get the 40, and then let's get 30 of that and pop that in. Where's that gone? There it is. I've already got 120. Silkweave satchels sold for 671. How many are we going to sell? 3? Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be the full 8? Just 3 at the moment. Oh, there's 4. We've gone for 5. Right, how many of these can I make? 6. 7. Someone's going for the full 8 and the bank as well, I think. One more silkweave satchel, I think. Hopefully. No, they got 7. That's unusual. Right, let me have a look. How many aromatic fish oil do we need? Have we got enough now? We have got enough, it looks like, according to that. Okay, let's carry on. They've ran out of gold. Yeah, most likely. Okay, what did we have? What did I miss? Oh, I've messed up loads over here. Hold on. You started setting up for, started with crash start again still. Always saw this weekend at the moment. Patch we're almost there. So that's a good plan. Might split your gold you made, spend half of it and the other half. That's a pretty good idea. I think either 8.2 should be either end of July or beginning of June, I believe, last I heard. Or just find another niche that has less competition, exactly. I have one gill bank tab full of fish, and sell the fish whenever there is a turn in. And you make oil from the cheapest on the auction house. Yep, that's a good idea. You have more fishermen in your server than skinners. You'd have gotten a gill pond to store them in. Would it be nice to have as much space, but not have to make a guild? Yeah, that would be good if they did something with void storage, definitely. Giving you a tip, you can put the fish on your bar and use a keybind to spam click for aromatic oils. A lot more pleasant. That's true, Fandak. I guess for me, it's I don't do it that often, so I'm quite happy just to click it as and when I need it. 171 transmogs in the total price, 163,000. They get one try in the auction house, all under 1k are vended. Yeah, I'd say that would be good. 1k plus, move to a second character, and doubles are vended. Yeah, I think that's a fairly good way of organising it. Transmog can get extremely cumbersome if you have too much of it. Right, let's have a look what else we need here. So we need Ethereal Shard. We need mats for that. We need Mysterious Essence around here. We need some Essence of Water. There's a few things we might not be able to make here. Bolt of Mage Weave we can do. Let's see what we can buy from here. With the Gloom Dust we need to do. There's a few things here we need to deal with. Let's have a look at some of these things. Redtail Loach we need a lot of. 51 gold at the moment. Average purchase price of 65, so that's probably worth it for me at this current stage. The Gloom Dust we're not going to buy, we're going to make that ourselves. So let's have a look at this. Let's move this back over. So how much do we need? Redtail Loach, 119. So there's a decent amount. Oh, that's my son. He's got some Redtail Loach he's just going to sell, so I'm going to buy that off him. Let me just actually shift click this so I can buy more than I need for the moment. So I need, what have we got? 119. So let's buy up 150, buy my son's 40, and then I'm going to get just maybe just one stack, 2 stacks. Don't want to overbuy my fish. That's what usually kills my cooking profits. And then let's go back and search everything else up. Let's go back to that and scan again. Hold on, what did I miss there? Just make it like RuneScape. Trade skill max. Stack to 2147. Is that million? That's amazing. If they stack that much. That was 5 days of playing all the things. Yeah, I can imagine that getting all the things. It's going to really sort of rack up, isn't it? Touched my phone, tried it, got the t-shirt. Disenchanted a lot. Yeah, definitely. Miniazer, thank you very much for the follow. Boys Transmog is post Get Luck Sell 3. Yeah. 171 different greens and another 90 doubles. It's cheap, current on auction house. Any tips how to make gold just so you can buy tokens monthly? It all depends on what you enjoy doing, Black Temple. For me, it's professions, and I've really focused on just 3 main professions: tailoring, enchanting, and leatherworking as my main gold makers, and those have done it for me, and that's what I find personally fun. Zeldak, thank you very much for the cheer, very appreciated. So thank you for sharing the super shovel. You went from having 20k to loving gold making because of it. Oh, excellent. Well, maybe do. Thank you very much for your support. I'm glad it's working out for you. Am I ready for 8.2? I guess as ready for anything really. I have got the part 1 Pathfinder, but I've got a feeling I'm going to need Exalted or something that I'm not quite ready for. So I'm definitely going to need to do something a bit more on Samadan to get flying, I think. find that the cheap transmog sales are best at the weekend, and especially around the Trial of Style weekend. Yeah, that's true. Always run all of WoD and Pandaria raids 1 time a week. Do it with 2 characters, you can make 180k per month. Well, that's a good idea. I might suggest that to my son. So every single Walls of Draenor and Pandaria raid. Okay. But you should make the goal from Professions. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with Professions, so I certainly would recommend it. Wow, that Fatty Bear Steak's quite expensive at 2 gold. How much do I need? I need 25, and there are exactly 28 from someone called Oreo. That's brilliant. There you go, Oreo, you're selling Fatty Bear Steak now. Did you know that? There he is, lying down. Okay, Oreo, I'm going to buy your Fatty Bear Steaks. You have exactly the right number I need. So you can do SOO. What's SOO? Selling only his chickens. He's definitely selling something, aren't you, Oreo? Right, okay, so Gloomdust will do. Redtail Loach. We should have enough of that now. We don't need to buy that anymore. And Essence of Water, there's none on at the moment, so that's interesting. And Mysterious Essence, looks like we can't really get any this way, so let's have a look for Mysterious Essence. Oh, we've sold another Pact of Haste for 4,000. Fantastic, that's doing well. Much better than I thought. So let's go enchanting, searching for Mysterious Essence. Old Will, good enchants, Mysterious for Elemental. So we should have Spirit Dust, Mysterious Essence, and Ethereal Shard. Oh, Siege of Orgrimmar. Okay, thank you. Last Pandaria raid. Can I put a rule in your auction so it doesn't post under 70%, for example? As Mushy said, 70% of what? Been amazingly helpful, many thanks. No problem, Smogs. Glad it's been useful. The spirit turns into mysterious. Yes, we can get the spirit. I think it's 5 mysterious. No, 5 spirit makes 1 mysterious, or 1 ethereal makes 3 mysterious. So it all depends on the price. So obviously this mysterious essence being 80 gold is massively expensive, because my mat cost here from ethereal shards is coming in at 198. But the ethereal shards are quite expensive at the moment. I think I do need some, so I'm just going to buy some at the moment. Do we need some ethereal shards? I need to craft one here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy that stack of 11 for now, and then that spirit dust is really cheap. We do have 133 spirit dust, so I'm going to take up. We got some stuff from Nyx there as well, so let's take everything up to 50 old gold. I think that's going to be our cheapest way. We'll take all the spirit dust for our mysterious essence. We'll get this in bulk as it's so cheap, and take that and that, and then we can do that fairly easily. So let's just collect up all our purchases, deal with that. So if you run 1 Siege of Orgrimmar, you'd have 60 epic shards. Spirits is WoD expansion. I believe it's Pandaria, isn't it? Or is it Walls of Draenor? Okay. Sorry, 70% market value. So you would basically say your minimum would be 70% DB market, and it wouldn't post for under that. Thank you very much for the cheer, Mogs. Very kind of you. Don't mind leveling any professions. You've got Alchemy and Enchanting max, but it's difficult for you to find what's worth doing on these professions, as your server everything is cheap on the auction house. So I guess it would be down to the price of the materials and versus the price of things. So I imagine for enchanting you need to make sure you're doing something like the Braceless Shuffle to get your cheapest mats possible to actually get a profit. And it would be a question of looking on the enchanting list looking at what's profitable. Let me just move this across, and picking out things from there, and looking at the sale rate. So obviously these packs of Haste, someone's reset the market on those. That will be me, and so those are incredibly profitable at the moment if you were to make those. And the Mastery, the Versatility, these would all be ones I would sell, which I do. And the same with the weapon ones, even the ones with the lesser sale rates, I would at least have a few of these on. So if I was looking at this fresh without knowing the markets, those would be the things I would try first, at least one of each, and then go from there if they sell. Obviously these don't have a great sale rate, 0.01, so even though those are in a profit, I would be reluctant to try those, and in this case I haven't tried them. Even the Sinister Combatants Scepter I haven't tried selling yet. No problem, Black Temple. Everything sells so quick on your server. Okay. Everything you put it sells. Well, that's a good start. Basically, you just need to keep getting the materials as quickly as you can and selling some more if you can. Right, we've got a load of stuff here we're still missing. Gloom Dust we need. We still need 161. So we need to deal with that. Let's get some of this stuff sorted. So we do have some Tide Spray Linen back from our scrapping, so we can make 121. We should be able to make at least a few of these into we'll disenchant the greens to get our Gloom Dust this way. So let's just fill up a little bit. Let's have a look. Let's go down to the let's just fill up our bags with these for the moment and then stop there, I think. And then that should be enough for at least a good amount of Gloom Dust. If it sells so quickly, maybe the price is too low. That could be a good point. If it's a profit, then and you can do it in bulk. I know Rasheen deals with a lot of volume of stuff being on a hype up server as well. So it all depends on how quickly you can supply the market. If you can't supply it that quickly, then yes, consider putting your prices up higher. Oh, looks like Oreo's fallen over again. Let's just move you down. There we go. Oh, let's press escape just in time. Right, so we'll disenchant that lot. So a good mix of greens and blues there. So we should get some good Gloom Dust out of this. The Walmart system, yeah, exactly. A lot of volume. Okay, thank you, Right12. Thanks ever so much for stopping by. So there we go, that's stuck again. So quick close and start it again. Hope you're well. Just wondering if you think it's worth having a second account for sniping. Yes, definitely, Sleep Road. I know a lot of people have success with that. I considered it myself, but I'm not in a position where I'm able to have World of Warcraft on in the background for a long period of time, which is where I think sniping really comes into its own. But if you're playing and you're, say, raiding, and you'd like to snipe in the background, then definitely I'd recommend it for that. How much am I charging for some teaching? Well, everything I do here is free of charge. So I like to keep my content as free as possible and as open as possible. So if you do have any questions, Paul, you're more than welcome to ask them in chat, and I'll answer them as best I can. Or if I can't, then I'm sure someone else in the chat will. But I like to try and keep things as open as possible, because this is the day of the internet. We do our best. Indeed you do, Mushy. We're always learning. That is true. Alright, lots of Gloom Dust coming in. How much do I need? Has it updated yet? Looks like it has. We need some more Lane Snapper though. And we need to get some fine thread from a tailor. And we need to make some Mondazi. 10 of each. Mondazi and Tiramisu. Someone just lives by a scrapper. Yeah, that's true. Very true. There goes the 8th Silkweed Satchel for 671. We're going to have to make some more of those now. Second scrapper account. That's next level. Yeah, definitely. Can you imagine that? Well, you have one character that's making the braces and another character that's scrapping them. That would definitely work. But the problem is you have to keep hopping back to the other character to scrap. Although if you use something like CKS, then you could scrap whilst playing on the main character. That would work too. Just the scrapper is the crafter. Yeah, that is a slight issue. Right, okay, so that's done. We're almost there. We're doing well. This is one mammoth restock for Samadan. I know it's taken up a lot of the time. We'll come over to Jahwakening after this and see if we can deal with some alchemy after this. Shard crystal's the only other thing we're missing here. We need 10 of those. They were quite expensive. Quick scrapping after about 5 seconds. Yeah, I can imagine, Mr. Donkey. If you're doing it in any sort of volume, then definitely. Okay, so tailoring, bolts of mage weave. We can make these two. Bolt of mage weave here. Create those. We've done our hex weave cooldown. We could do with probably going to our garrison. We need to also make those mysterious essences. So we can do that with our spirit dust, I think. So not Maelstrom, mysterious essence from here. Now I think we actually need to do 3 times this amount. Let's start with 12 before it registers, because it thinks it's getting it through the ethereal shatter. So it's the other way round. So it tells me to do 6, but it's actually expecting 3 from every one. So what I'm doing here is just doing it the other way round and do another 6, create those, and that should be enough for the final one. There we go. Okay, so fine thread and shard crystals. Can we get shard crystals cheaply? There's no essence of water, so that's going to be a slight problem. Shard crystals are expensive. How much are they normally? Crafting cost normally from ethereal shard times 5 gives me 21 gold. Okay, interesting. But ethereal shards are in short supply at the moment, so maybe not. Working your way through 15,000 braces. Wow, that is loads. Mr. Deadfellow, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. The gold making is going very well, thank you very much. Really enjoying it. And Jack's back. Found me on YouTube. Thanks for the good work. Oh, you're more than welcome. Thanks for stopping by. With multiple accounts, you need to be careful of not doing things that count as unauthorized automation. I believe automating key presses is a no-no, for instance. Yes, it is if you're unattended. But if you're attended, then using something like CKS is within the terms, as far as I understand it. So you got TSM guys in my channel. Are they still relevant? Yes, they are, definitely. My TSM4 guides are certainly worth it. So run Siege of Orgrimmar and have 50 at least. Okay, so that's something I might have to look into doing, because I do need a fair amount of them. I think what I'll do is I'll leave the thing that needs the sharp crystals at the moment. We do need some fine thread and Mondazi and Kultiramasu though, so we need to queue those up. Let's go to crafting for this. And Mondazi, we make 10, so we just need to actually queue up 1. And Kultiramasu will queue up another 1. That will add to those. And then buy from the vendor the fine thread. I assume that will just be a regular tailoring vendor we can get that from. Let me have a look. Fine thread. Will you be in here? Tailoring. This one. Tailoring trainer, tailoring supplies. Look, she waved at me. Fine thread. Yep, we can get it here. So let's pick up a stack of it whilst we're here. That way we'll never run out for the moment. And then what needs essence of water and shard crystal? Is that one of the Tome of Illusions? Jade Spirit needs the shard crystal. Okay, let's leave that off for now. Binding of Intellect needs a Blood of Sargeras. We'll leave that off. And Tongue of Illusions needs the Essence of Water. We'll leave that off for now. Everything else we should be fine with. So the Mondazi and the Kull Tiramisu actually says we need 100 of those. So maybe I do actually need to make 10 of each of those rather than the 9 from looking at that. So we need to go to cooking again. And we need to queue up. Let's change that to 9. And queue up 9 Kull Tiramisu and 9 Mondazi, which means we will need to go back and get some Major's Frothy Coffee in order to afford that. Let's buy that, and that should hopefully be everything ready. Okay, right. What have I missed out on, chat? Doing good, say no sleep, ears are bleeding, oh ouch, arms are fatigue, etc. So all is normal. Ouch, that doesn't sound good, but if it's normal, then okay. You have some questions later on. For now, just going to observe. Okay, Jack's back, no problem. If you have any questions, be sure to shout them out. Or if you miss me here, always ask in the Discord or on YouTube, or even email me if you like. We'll try and answer by any means. Technically, CS not automation, so you're just binding to an action to moving your mouse. Exactly. As long as you actually press a key and not have the key press simulated by software, it should be fine. Yeah. Deep Sea Satin average sell price 55 gold. Okay. That's not bad. Deep Sea Satin's okay at that price. It could be nice. One person bought 4,400 and is trying to resell it. Okay, maybe not then. No, exactly, Mr. Honkit. I'd agree with you on that. Pushes the price up. I dislike that. Is it much worth than 2x4? It's worth doing a 2x4. We did one on stream. It was good fun. So how do you set up the crafting with Restocks? I do the last Starfighter. If you look up guides, that should give you, I think that should work. No, maybe not. Is it just guide? Oh no, it's learn. There we go, learn. There we go. That gives you the playlist, and there is a playlist for setting up crafting operations and restocking on that playlist. I think it's about the 3rd or 4th one. Anyone happen to have in a garrison you can come and use? If everyone does, they're more than welcome to shout out in chat. I'm going to go and craft these things because they're all sitting here waiting to be done. We can close this down for the moment. So let's start with all this enchanting. Let's deal with all of this. So about a 45,000 profit according to TSM if I sell all of this lot. Yeah, basically that's how I read it. Nabbles is basically it, because it's one thing sending it to another, you're still manually putting it in. If you take your hands off the keyboard and mouse and actions stop, it's not automation. Automation. Yes, exactly as Senza said. What did I miss there with Mr. Deadfellow? Boy or a girl? Normal for a fresh daddy. Oh, I missed that one. Congratulations, Mr. Deadfellow. Congratulations indeed. Let's see. I don't know, what have we got? Brutosaur. No, hold on. Where's my chat gone? Press the wrong button. Let's see, lots of everything. Thank you, Mr. Deadfellow. Not thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Deadfellow. Congratulations indeed on your new ult. Your level 0 ult. Everything you said about pressing one key for action is what makes it not sketchy. Exactly. There you go, Mushy. You got the perfect emote. Right, we're going to make all of this stuff. Lots and lots of enchants, which is how I like it. And then we're going to move on over to cooking. There's a fair amount to make there. So make sure the chef's hat's on. Pierre's out. Make all the cold tiramisu. And then Mondazi. And that should hopefully... Oh, we have to reload there. It's got stuck. Think where it would cross the lines if there any form of logic involved in the keys you press. Yes. It's the same way as Hikili, the add-on for the rotation, doesn't actually let you... doesn't do any of the rotation for you. Let me just bring that back up. Cooking. And carry on with the Mondazi. There we go, let that run through. Too much and too little, fast reading. Much trader is different for everyone. You missed the expansion and you need some stuff for inscription. There's a... there we go, Bountiful Captain's Feast coming in. There is a spreadsheet that tells you which trader is supposed to be up. I don't have it to hand myself at the moment. Harrison, don't know which trader is up today. I think is it EU or NA? I might be able to find it in my bookmarks. Spice Snapper coming in, and then over to tailoring. Your NA. It's leather on EU. So let me have a look. Let me find it on my bookmarks. Garrison Trader NA. Here we go. This is the list, isn't it? So currently Fur Trader, according to that, for NA. I'll pop this in the a link to this in the chat, and then I've got the link for the EU one, if you are interested. Is this one. So that's the copy of that, and then that into there. There we go. Those are the two that tells you which trader is on at any one time. I always forget to look at that myself. There we go. Let's carry on. Let's make Rallying Swiftness. We must need a few of those. Duck Pryor, thank you very much for using your Prime. Very kind of you. Thank you ever so much for your support. Welcome to the Samadan squad. I have all the emotes now at your disposal. Thank you very much. See that? Cool graphs, spreadsheets and visual aids. Alright, let's carry on. Let's make a blue linen vest. Graphs are good. We always love a good spreadsheet and a good graph. Do you know when the vendor that sells the Draenor mass milling techniques is in the garrison? So that would be mass milling. Which one would that be? Would that be herb? Yeah, that is the herb one. Okay, so we've got loads of stuff we just made. And we'll go on and post that up. And we'll go onto auctioning and we'll run a post scan on all of this lot. Wow, that took me a lot longer than I expected. But it was worth doing. We got loads of veiled crystals out of that. It's definitely worth doing. Rallying Swiftness, this must be a turn in at the moment at 299. Let's see if we can capture any sales there. Wow, look at that Hexweave bag at 2,800. That'd be nice if they sell for that. Bountiful Captain's Feast aren't quite as high as I'd like, but still 1,800 is a good price. And the other shirts going on fairly nicely. Our spare Mondazi going on. Pact Critical Strike still going on. That's all fine. Pact of Haste is still going on at 4,400, so no one's undercut me on the Pact of Haste. That's very unusual. So I'll capitalise on that as much as I possibly can. Done all of those. Okay,
If you find anything
with that
exotic,
done.
bring
Okay.
it to me.
Excuse me. That's a good point, Fallout. I haven't got one of cooking yet. Oreo's on his back. Apologies in terms of service breaking for Oreo. But I need to do one for cooking, definitely. You're an EU and you don't have the leather trader. Have you got one of the standard guys, the Admiral? You have to find, it's not always on your garrison, you have to find someone who does happen to have it in your garrison. You're not guaranteed that person on. But if someone else has it, and they can invite you to their garrison, and you can visit them, and then you can get the trader that way. You just bought 71 stacks of gems. Let's see how many gems it is. A stack can be 1 to 200. Okay, that's a lot. On EU, I did that one. What do you use the trader for anyway? Usually it's for buying recipes that you haven't got, and that's the only way you can get them. Or you can get primal spirits through the trader as well. It was a weird system. It was very weird, definitely. I never did it whilst it was the garrison, whilst it was current content. But coming back to it and learning about it, it was very strange for sure. Okay, so we're all done with Samadan for the time being. I want to move over to Jahwakening and have a look at Alchemy in the last little bit of time here. Poor Brutusal's lost his head there. So we're going to go over and swap over to Jahwakening. 114 gems, under 3 gold. Okay. That's pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Oreo's right in front of the camera now. That will result in 2,500 profit. Very nice. Oh, that's very kind of you, Rasheen. Let's move over to Jahwakening. Still got these shoulders. I can't find some good shoulders yet. Ah, turn-ins. Okay. Right. Let's move you over here, Oreo. There we go. Whilst he's wanting some cuddles at the moment. He's purring away. So there's our sale, our single sale, elixir of water breathing times 8 at 1,200. So that's pretty good for you so far. I'll take that. Now, what we want to do, looking at Jahwakening Alchemy, let's have a look at where we're at with Alchemy at the moment. So we are currently at 90 of 150. Stacks of 15 at 25 gold each. You keep buying all the cheap bits and pieces. Well, it's a good way of making gold. Sorry, Oreo's just pushing the camera over while scratching my knees. That's it. Come over this way, Oreo. There we go. Okay, thank you. Check and see if it worked. Okay, cool. So, not a lot of profits here to be had in Alchemy yet. Steel skins potion, but not a good sale rate. Potion of replenishment, 0.23. Currently has a profit of 4 gold according to that. There's 140 auctions on. Looks like the price has been inflated. Siren's Pollen, Star Moss and Star Crystal Vials. What else have we got? All of these are not too great. And then we also have the Endless Tinctures, which is not too bad. Fractional Power. That's a lot of different things we need to make there. And Expulsum. Ow, Oreo, that's my knee. Okay, so let's have a look at WoW Professions. What do they suggest we make at this stage for our alchemy leveling guide? Let's move this on over. I was having a look at this earlier, so we are currently at 90. So you're suggesting we don't have the rank 3s because we don't have the reputation. So we want the battle potions, strength, stamina, intellect and agility up to 115. So these ones here, even though the looking at these, even though the profits aren't so great, the potion of strength is the least, no, potion of agility is the least loss at 29 gold. That would be something to make. How many can we make at this point? We can make 14 of them. So that would be a good start to get us to 115. Let's have a look at that. Drain and Visit Potion is the only thing you use your alchemy for. Need to buy a scratch mat and drape that over my leg. That's a good idea, actually. And hide them battle scars. Not a bad idea. Or he's just gone behind me now. So let's have a look at this. So Potion of Agility, Siren's Pollen and Riverbud. We have some of this. I'm trying not to take too much gold whilst doing this. But we do need to level up. I may need to borrow some gold off of Samadan whilst we do this. But we'll sell some of these, hopefully. And now it's gone yellow. Okay, so we may struggle with the last few. Let's keep going. I could make some different ones. That might be quite good to just spread out the sales. Okay, so up to 103. We can still make 1 stamina, maybe 1 strength. Let's have a look at TSM. How we're doing. Stamina, strength's the better one to do there. Stamina's not great at all at 0.1 sale rate. So let's craft one of those instead. Okay, 104. We still need another 10 to go from here. You wear your scars proudly. Yeah, absolutely. It all makes part of us, really, doesn't it? So we're going to need some more things here. More Potion of Agility means more Siren's Pollen. Can we get some for a reasonable price? Doesn't seem too bad. Let's go and buy some up whilst we're here. How are we doing? Okay, so shopping. Let's have a look for herbs, BfA herbs. Let's go have a search. What do I do for a job? I'm head of animation for a corporate media company, so I do a lot of computer animation at the moment. But it's boring corporate videos and things, not exciting doing like World of Warcraft movies and things like that. But I used to work I've done CG all my life. So I've done computer games, I've done film, I've done advertising, commercials. So I've done all sorts of different things at the moment. But gold making, yeah. That's kind of the thing. But overall, it's basically anything to do with computers and animation is what I tend to do. Okay, so Riverbud's quite cheap. Exactly, in which case you might as well just wear it with Pride, Darkwing. Definitely. Okay, what was I after? Was it Star Moss? No, it's Siren's Pollen. Okay, so it's a little bit expensive here. But we do need some. So I'm prepared to invest. We've got 14,000 gold on us at the moment. So let's buy 17. That's 346. Okay, so let's just buy up some of this. That should be enough for the moment. And I'm going to get some of this Riverbud whilst it's cheap. There's lots of stacks here. So we're going to buy... What's my average on here? 17. Yeah, so let's take at least 2 stacks of this. This could be useful. And that Star Moss could be useful as well. We'll come back to that though. Let's just pick up the things we need for the current things we want to level up with. And then we'll deal with everything else as we go. So let's carry on with the alchemy. So we're heading towards 115. So we want some more Potion of Agility. So let's make some more of these. We can make 21 of those. So let's just keep going till we get to 115. See how it goes. If we're lucky, we'll be okay. See how that goes. This one's take up a lot of my time, as I assume stun days. It does take a fair amount of my time. I'm in early, but also I spend a lot of time with my family, and so that's also important to me at the moment, is to make sure that they get plenty of decent Samadan time. The thing I was finding with my streaming during the week was that I was getting too tired to give any quality time to my family, and so they were missing out. So this way it's a lot more balanced. So we're at 115, so let's go over to the Alchemy trainer. We should be able to learn something new, I think. Let's go have a look. Find a suitable mount. We haven't got one actually. Let's just run. As for a druid, we don't need a mount. Of course, we've got travel form. There we go. Right. Alchemy trainer. Train me alchemy. I forgot, I thought I was an Erfen for a while though. Right, let's buy up all of this lot. There goes a whole load of new stuff. And we've now got Transmute Expulsum. Can't decide if you want to offload herbs or save and hope 8.2 crafts help the price a bit. I think the problem with 8.2 and herbalism is going to be that people are going to be rushing to get flying, and therefore herb gathering and mining are going to be a lot more convenient once people get flying. So I've got a feeling the price on things will go down. Obviously, it's not going to, people aren't going to get flying straight away. It's going to be at least a couple of weeks, I think, before they do get flying. But that's something to bear in mind. Sell it all. Hey Jack, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. How's your week been? Sell all the things. Flying won't be right away. No, exactly. It'll take a while for people to get it. We don't know what the exact requirements are going to be for that one. Tomorrow the day off. Oh yes, Mushy was saying it's White. Was it White Sunday? So you get the day off. Right, what have you got? What's the travelling merchant got a quest for? Young friend, mutual acquaintance, Karatan, scanning and freehold, slay Karantan. Okay, I'll leave that for the moment. That's a bit of a digression. We need to go carry on with our alchemy. So what does Wild Professions say we need to do next? Which is the window? Is it this one? Wild Garrison Trader, no, it wasn't that one. Let me close those down. BfA Alchemy, there it is, this one. So we got to 115. So now we've just missed out on the Dark Moon Fair. So now we now need to make a lot of either Flask of Endless Fathoms, Flask of Currents, Undertow, or Flask of the Vast Horizon. Okay, so let's have a look at those. We're going to need to buy a lot of stuff for that. So the flasks, here we go, Endless Fathoms, Currents, Undertow and Vast Horizon. These are the new things. Let's have a look at them. So they're all quite expensive. They're all a loss at the moment at rank 3. Obviously because in order to do better with this we would need to be higher. The best sale rate ones are Endless Fathoms and Currents. In terms of, what's the thing you can click? Crafting cost, that's it. Cheapest crafting cost is Endless Fathoms. That's 648 compared to the others. So that seems to be the go-to one. And we need Anchorweed. There's 42 auctions of Anchorweed. Currently at 89 gold min buyout. Market value is 62. So Anchorweed's really expensive at the moment. This could be a problem. Sometimes it's cheaper to just keep making greens. I can see the appeal, Darkwing, definitely, because we're looking at this and it's thinking, okay, it's going to cost me a lot to do this. The only thing I can think of is hopefully I can recoup some of the money in making some sales. Not wait long in April 2 with offloading. Between the first and the second month, prices will start dropping. I imagine so. Darkwing ain't then, I guess. Pinkstone. Pinkstone is how you English people say it. White Sunday, Black Monday. Pinkstone. Oh, right, okay. I'd never heard of that before. Right, let's have a look. How are we doing? Oh, we're stuck here. Let's just move out a little bit. Camera's a bit stuck. There we go. So, BfA herbs, anchorweed. Do we actually have anchorweed in our list here? Let's have a look. Yes, we do. So it's there at 145%. And there's not a lot of it on. Someone's done a reset of it, it would seem. Looking at that. 10 stacks of 50, 4 stacks of 50, 6 stacks of 50, and then 20 stacks of 10. They've got some cheaper here at 89. I mean, I'd like to maybe make a few of these, but how much is it going to cost me for one stack? I've only got 6,000 gold left. Can I even buy out one lot? How much would it cost me? 4,499 for one stack. So that's about all I'm going to buy. I'm going to see what I can make with this. Let's have a look. And then the rest we're going to have to go out, try and find ourselves or make some more gold and come back to this. Because if I can avoid it, I don't want to borrow any money. And that's overpriced buying anyway, so it's not normally the best tactic. So let's carry on down here. What can we actually make? So endless fathoms we can make one of. Okay, so we need more Winter's Kiss as well. From looking at that, let's have a look at Winter's Kiss.
Have anything ancient to trade?
See if we can buy any of that.
At least 2 centuries old.
If you're from Holland or Belgium, pronounce it. The last name. Hold on. We're already saying it perfectly. Am I really? Okay. Always like it when people not from Holland or Belgium pronounce your last name. Since it's Pool. Okay. Darkwing. It always looks like Darkwing Gent to me. Is that not how it's pronounced? Oh, get out. It's easier to type than Netherlands. True. How much have I got? Got now. Lifted off pretty low when buying the auction house mount. I went down to pretty much zero, but I had a lot of stock once I bought the auction house mount. I've got overall. Let's have a look. I had 2 million on Samadan and about 500,000 on Erfen. I have just bought though 3 tokens, so that should be about more like sort of a 2.3 million, I think, at the moment. But here's my saving. Here was the Brutosaur mount. There was me buying it, and this is me working my way back up after that time. So it's been a steady increase, especially these last few months. I've quite enjoyed the rate of this graph. If it can stick on this route, then I'll be very happy. Asakura, how are you? If I right click on the buyout part TSM shopping, like you did for crafting, it'll show you how much per stack. Oh right, of course, thank you Asakura. I forget to try that one. The Republic of the Netherlands is actually called. Do I ever farm my own herbs? Yes, Herbert Sam, I would. And how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I would farm some myself. I would like to do a nice little route with Jahwakening. We do have herbalism. I would certainly give it a go. Hey, Bruce Owen, how are you? So was the host last week? No problem. You're more than welcome. Always introduce yourself. Als J, since people can actually pronounce that. Oh, right. Always think it Darkwing Duck. Right. Ain't is like ain't. Okay, so Darkwing ain't. Darkwing ain't. Okay. The name was taken. Alright. You got it on your server now. Okay. That's a great looking graph. It is a nice one, definitely. Anything going upwards is definitely nice. You made a random character with that. Nice. Was that in September? Yes, it was. Big Mooney. Trexor, how are you? Long time since you've seen me live. How am I this fine? I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How about yourself? Thank you for stopping by. March to April hurt a bit. Yes, I did. I did have a few extra expenses there where I didn't make as much. I think, what was it? Was it March? If I look at my my summaries, I only made something like 250. Eend equals duck. Okay. I think you say it like ain't. Okay, ain't is like that. My daughter's actually learning some Dutch using Duolingo, I think, a little app on her phone. She's having a lot of fun with that at the moment. Very first time didn't deserve a time out before. Yes, thank you for that, Mushy. I didn't catch it at the time, but thank you very much indeed. And ain't means single. Okay. Been moving and stuff, so little time to be online. Fair enough. Moving does take a lot of time, certainly does. Good luck with the words that lose guru. Oh, thank you, Mashi. And there's me just sitting here chatting when I've got alchemy to do. Right, how are we doing? So we need to make some stuff. It's very hard to learn, yes. I think she has trouble with the pronunciations. I think is the hardest bit. Trying to work out what the words should be pronounced. Okay, Flask of Endless Fathoms. We were looking at Winter's Kiss. That was it. Let's go back and run a shopping scan. Winter's Kiss. So how is Winter's Kiss looking like? There's none on here. Is there none at all, or am I missing something here? Is it actually in my search group? Let me have a look at this group. BfA Herbs. There is no Winter's Kiss. Okay. Interesting. Let's add that in. Can't be missing a herb. That's not going to work. Let's try that again. Run a shopping scan. RG or CH sounds amazing. All foreigners love those. Okay. Lots of Drustvater herb. Yeah, definitely. There's lots of interesting ones I want to look out for. Jack and you volunteer to help. Try this. Now I would pronounce that Gizelig if I was to pronounce it looking at the English words, or Gezelig, but or Gezond, or RG on CH sounds amazing. Keeling the Grave, I've missed you. Do I ever have to run multiple cancel scans to get everything cancelled? You just maybe 40 things at a time and have to run it at least twice to catch all the cancels, or you do something wrong. No, you're not. I think there is a slight issue with TSM sometimes with that. I've had it in the past doing them. I don't do a lot of cancel scans myself, but I think for me it's settled down whenever I do it now that I don't have to do it more than once. But maybe that's just an old thing and I don't have it. But I have heard other people saying they do have that issue, so it is a known thing. I was wondering if there was a way that TSM can know if I gather a lot of mats and do something about your average price on those items. Not easily, no. I think the best thing you could probably do is just try and weight your average buy price with something that's representative of your time whilst you gather them. Of course, it is for vegetable. Okay. Or is it gezond? Okay, thank you, Lizard. G needs to come out of your throat like you get to get the Dutch G. Oh, right, okay. Okay, I can't do those ones. Definitely. Let's Ghost, thank you very much for the follow. The first E is way more up. Okay, I'm not going to be able to pronounce those. You have to do your cancel scans at least 3 or 4 times. Okay. When doing cancel scan and using the mouse scroll wheel macro, does it drop everybody else's FPS to like 2 or 3? Not for me, Big Mooney. Even on Mr. Potato, I don't think it did. Right, so how much can we do this? If we right click on it, apparently we get the stack size. Let's have a look. Buy out for the stack. There we go. Lovely, thank you for that help. So looking at the Winter's Kiss, how much have we got? 1,500. So we need to buy, what can we afford to buy? Let's buy one lot of 50. We could, in theory, buy another one, but that will leave me with no gold for posting auctions on, so that's too tight for me. I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I can afford. Never used to, but you wipe your PC and now it does. Interesting. Okay. Have you... I know it would be a strange one if you've wiped your PC, so it shouldn't make a difference, but deleting your cache folder might have a difference to that one. Elite Killer, thank you very much for the follow. Happens depending on how much needs to be cancelled, but don't worry about it. First time here, watching my stream whilst you play by yourself. Well, you're very welcome to stop by. We're on for another 15 or so minutes, so wait with deleting the cache folder. Not the cache folder, which is the right one I'm looking at. Hold on. Let me see if I got the right one. Let me just move this over. There we go. Where's the folder I'm thinking of? Let me go to WoW, World of Warcraft. Oh, they've changed the retail. Not the WDB. Not the cache folder. What's the one I'm thinking? It's not the WTF folder, is it? It was the cache folder, I think. Yeah. Under WoW Retail. Yeah, I think that's the one. Or if you're not sure, if you're not sure about that one, rather than deleting it, move it to another folder. It is the cache folder. It is add-on config. Don't scroll fast, and in smaller scrolls that helped you. Yeah, that's true. That does help. Always make a backup of it somewhere. You delete the folder from once and remove all your TSM settings. Yeah, that would be the thing, is rather than deleting it, is either renaming it or moving it to another location would be the other options there. Do I have inscription on any of my characters? Thinking perhaps that the new 8.2 trinkets might be a real good seller due to them being level 400. We were discussing that earlier. My son's just started on inscription. Reports, I think Rasheen was saying she doesn't think that the trinkets will be as good as the decks, but they might be worth trying at least. Just cache one if you're not sure yet. You back up WoW with the rest of the PC at least once a week. More Valera, if I've pronounced that correctly. Good evening to you too. I hope you're doing well. We're just running through some alchemy at the moment. I keep on stopping to read chat though, so please do bear with me. So we can make 6 flasks of the Endless Fathoms to get ourselves 6 skill points. I'm going to go for this as a start and then see what we can do over time. So I'm going to post these on once I've made them and get myself some skill ups. I know I could do the greens as well. There's also Transmute Expulsum actually. That might be something to think about. Oh, it's just gone green. Whoops. I should have done that first. I'm not sure what I need Expulsum for, though, as a alchemist. It's something to think about in the future. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've just made and see if we can sell some of this. There we go. Morphe for your name is fine. Okay, no problem. Does make it easier. So we're at Alchemy 121. That's not too bad. Mojo Zahori, how are you? Recently discovered my content from YouTube. Just want to say thank you for my guides. You've been very helpful. Oh, it's very kind of you to say so. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe it was TSM3 then. Thought he was going mad. Oh right, was that something I missed earlier? Was it me or just old TSM4 used to have a cancel all button option? I just got back for 9 months. Yes, TSM3 did have a cancel all button, and it was very handy. I would like TSM to have the cancel all button. It would be easier. Just for cauldrons, and they are bind on account, so you cannot sell them. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's also awesome to know. So I don't need so much Expulsum. Now, if I was a leather worker alchemist, that might be a good way of getting some Expulsum, perhaps. Hey, Jangles, how are you? Am I going to do any dungeons this night? So I've got specs. I'd be more than glad to. Oh, thank you, Trexel. It's very kind of you. I'm not going to have time tonight. I'm literally just finishing up a little bit of alchemy here. We've got Jahwakening up to level 121, and I'm going to try selling some of the stuff that I've just made. Let's have a look at what we have just made. So consumable wise, Now it's difficult to tell which ones of these are new. Let's just move this across, and I can have a look. So, Flask of Endless Fathoms. Okay, let's start with that. So let's have a look. So currently going for 348. We could possibly, there's a lot on. So I'm going to go in here. These are all at 12 hours. So let's just try something here. Minus 292. So it's not going to be a profit, but at least I can recoup some of my losses perhaps. So let's post this on as a maximum. 1 of 6. Let's try 1 of 5. Do that. And then we'll do 1 of 1. Like that. Okay. Meant skill 121, yes. Level 121 is the next expansion, yes, definitely. So sharp, you cut yourself. Indeed. Right, let's carry on. Delicious honey. What else have we got here? Water spirit. Battle potion of agility. This was one of them, wasn't it? Let's have a look at these. How are these doing? Battle potion of agility. Not so much of a loss here. Minus 46. So let's say stacks of 5 could be good. I'll go with those. Let's come in here. Maximum stack 6 stacks of 5. That cost a lot. 4 gold 50 to post. Let's try that. We can still do 1 more, so let's try 1 of 1. And then we've also got a battle potion of strength. We'll try one of those at 214. That's a loss of 44, so let's post at that. Just the one there. Just going to manually do these on at the moment. Potion of treasure finding. That's not much good. 630. Requires level 80. And a swiftness potion. We'll pick up one of those actually. We'll sell those. Maximum 3 of 1. There we go. Okay, so that's those done. That should at least get me a few more. What else did I miss here? Why cancel all the undercuts? What are you selling? Now seeing 4 PCs, so it must be time for bed. Many thanks for the stream. Good night. No problem, Mogs. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. Good night. I got a good method for maintaining chaos crystals. Find there's very few on the auction house. You're making great returns on Mark of the Hidden Satyr. So for chaos crystals, I guess, as I mentioned earlier, the Elite Strike and Centinax don't have the macro here. Let me just find it. If it's open. Which one? Legion, Order Hall, this one. So, class hall, available missions. Actually, I don't have that because I haven't set up my my class order hall for Jahwakening. But the Elite Strike Centinax would be the one for there. I need to do this Gathering of the Dreamweavers to sort that out. Then I can do that on that character. But that will give you nether shards, which you could then turn into chaos crystals, but it's not many. So I'm not sure exactly how else you could get lots of chaos crystals. Turns out your efforts failed for the tale. So if anyone NA has inscription that can make the glyph of the cheetah, he would love you forever. Okay, Dark Pro. You need the glyph on your server. Make glyphs of the cheetah. We used to get them from the Legion Shuffle. No? I'm not sure, Will. I didn't actually try so much of the Shuffle. I'll have to have a look into it. How hard early region raids are to solo at 120? Probably not too bad. That's the point. The Pantaloon Shuffle. Was it Legion Bracers? I can't remember how it worked. Was it random epic procs from that? I guess the question would be getting enough Shalder Eye Silk, because I find Shalder Eye Silk is quite hard to get hold of at the moment. How much have we got on? Let's have a look. Shalderai silk. Of any Shalderai silk at the moment, goes up to $4.99, 2,700, 55. So lots of easy farms for it though. Yeah, that's true. So there is an option there, definitely. No one sells them here, and you had a guildie that had it, but then he left for the expansion. People are soloing Legion raids, but the problem is that it's personal loot and not legacy raid loot, as legacy loot rules only apply up to WOD. That's true. So there is no easy way to get chaos crystals. Okay, I wasn't going mad. I wasn't sure. Let me have a look. It all depended on the price of things. The list I came up with back in Legion. Let me just find my my gold making thoughts sheet. Let's have a look at this. Let's bring this over. So my thoughts on chaos crystals was down here. So the best way to get chaos crystals was buying from the auction house. From my list, this was done back in Legion. So World Quest dungeons, item level 850 plus. Obviously that was back when the item level was that high. Disenchanting braces, you have a 4% chance. So run a sniper shopping scan whilst doing braces. The Argus Army of the Light vendor could sell you a embroidered Lightforged drape, but that would cost you 400 gold for one chaos crystal, which is way too expensive. So best way is to buy from the auction house or getting nether shards. And the best way to get nether shards was from the Order Hall mission, Elite Strike Centinex, 7,500 nether shards. Gives you 18 chaos crystals. Or if you do an invasion, you can get 2,800 nether shards from doing all the world quests, which equals about 7 chaos crystals, plus 2 to 3 from the item rewards, and that takes about 40 minutes, probably less by now. Possibly the Centinex farm, using the beacons, and try to do that solo or group, but I've not tried that these days. I wonder how well that would work. But there's options there, perhaps, if those are still valid. What have I also missed on? Hold on. Am I the only one that takes the effort to list them? What was that missing? The chaos crystals. You have to put in a hard max price. No problem, Fallout. As you were inflating it to silliness. Oh, right. From 10k almost a million. Yeah, it happens. It does happen. Very easy Murloc farm in Legion. Like 1,000 an hour of silk with a scavenger. That's quite a lot of silk. That could be useful. That spot on the island where the mage tower is. I think I know the spot you mean. Let me just have a look. Was it this one in Asuna, next to the academy on the left-hand side? That was a good Murloc one, apparently, I thought. Like I'll check this morning, went back to making them if you could. Just decided to check your chance. 2 up for 150 gold. Yeah. Silky smooth. Smooth as butter. Oh, it's lower, is it? Okay. Thank you, Mushy. We are almost there. Let's have a look. So further down into this section, perhaps. Could be there. But as Mushy has rightfully reminded me, I am due to finish up very soon. So I'll probably wrap things up here. So no, thank you for calming your baby girl. She loves my voice. No problem. I still read to my daughter, so she enjoys my voice too. So I'm glad I can share it amongst you all. Where the mage tower was. Ah, right. Actually, where the actual tower was. So I want to say big, massive thank you to all of you who have hung out in chat tonight. Really appreciated your company tonight. We had lots of fun. We did a lot of bracer shuffling, so a lot of restocks, so not necessarily doing a lot of advancement, although Jahwakening did get his alchemy up to 121, so that's a good progression on his front. I'm going to try to plan in like 10 minutes of finishing the story next week. Yes, that's a good idea, Moshi. I haven't done that, have I? Let's get on with the Samadan story time. We haven't done that in a long while. Let's see if we can find someone we can throw a host on over to. Who is on? Who is on? The lovely Sea Thrift is on. So we'll send a host over her way, I believe. Let's set that up. We'll send some love her way. So thank you everyone for hanging out tonight. Really enjoyed your company. So my next time I'll be on will be next Sunday. I'll try again for an 8 o'clock UK time start, and then we'll go on from there. I'll see if I can work on some more content in the meantime, see if I can get something going there. So until next time, I will have a lovely evening. I hope you all do well, and from me, we'll send some love over to Sea Thrift. Good night, and from Oreo, no cookie at the moment, but from me and Oreo, good night and farewell.